Welcome to the Nice Guy Trap, Why Playing It Safe Will Cost You Everything. Written and published by Mindful Literary. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right, being kind, respectful, always there when someone needs you, yet you still end up overlooked, ignored, or even worse, used? You're not alone. The world tells you that being a good guy is the path to success. That if you're nice, polite, and accommodating, things will fall into place. Love, career, friendships, surely people will recognize your value. But what if I told you that this mindset is actually working against you? What if I told you that the very thing you believe is making you attractive, your niceness, is actually holding you back? That playing it safe, avoiding conflict, and seeking approval are not signs of strength, but of fear? I've seen too many good men trapped in this cycle. They give, they wait, they hope, and they get nothing in return. Not because they're not worthy, but because they're playing the wrong game. This book isn't about turning you into a jerk. It's about turning you into you, the version of yourself that doesn't hide behind niceness but stands in confidence. By the end of this book, you'll understand exactly why nice isn't the same as attractive, why respect always beats approval, and how to break free from the nice guy trap for good. Because the truth is, the world doesn't reward those who wait to be chosen. It rewards those who choose themselves. So let's begin. Introduction: The unseen trap of niceness. Why being nice isn't the same as being attractive. Outward kindness is often lauded as a virtue, yet it is essential to distinguish between mere niceness and the deeper essence of attraction, which is anchored in authenticity. True attraction thrives on layers of emotional and social intelligence, where genuine confidence plays a crucial role. Confidence radiates an energy that draws people in, lighting a spark of interest that niceness alone often fails to ignite. Those who are inwardly confident project a sense of security and self-awareness that can captivate others. They know who they are and are not afraid to express it, which creates an authentic connection that superficial niceness cannot match. The key lies in being both kind and self-assured. As these traits harmonize, they forge a sense of intrigue that goes beyond a simple smile or a polite compliment. On the other hand, superficial niceness often masks the deeper traits that could make someone truly interesting and appealing. When individuals rely solely on niceness to navigate social interactions, they may unintentionally build walls around their true selves. This can lead to misinterpretations, where others might see this niceness as a facade, leaving them questioning the authenticity of the relationship. Superficial niceness can overshadow qualities like humor, passion, and depth, leading others to overlook genuine personalities that exist beneath the polished surface. In the realm of social and romantic exchanges, this can create confusion, where one may find themselves drawn to someone who is pleasant but ultimately unmemorable. Recognizing the importance of vulnerability and letting one's true self shine through enhances the potential for meaningful connections. To foster authentic attraction, focusing on both kindness and the subtleties of one's personality is crucial. Rather than striving to appear nice, individuals might benefit more from embracing their unique qualities, expressing thoughts, and sharing personal experiences. Vulnerability has a magnetic quality that can transform ordinary interactions into profound experiences. Being brave enough to be real, rather than simply agreeable, draws people in and sparks attraction that is grounded in genuine connection. In practical terms, this could mean initiating deeper conversations, showing a bit of your quirky side, or even being open about your passions. By prioritizing authenticity over superficial niceness, you create pathways for attraction that are rich, rewarding, and ultimately more fulfilling. The hidden frustration of nice guys, doing everything right but getting ignored. The concept of the nice guy is deeply layered, filled with contradictions that often leave these well-meaning individuals feeling frustrated and overlooked. Nice guys typically believe that if they do everything right, being polite, helpful, and considerate, they will naturally attract affection and appreciation. However, this belief often leads to the opposite outcome. Good intentions can sometimes be misconstrued as desperation or inability to express genuine desires. When they continuously try to please others, they often neglect their own needs and desires, resulting in a cycle of unreciprocated feelings. Instead of winning admiration, their actions can inadvertently create distance, as they may come off as needy or self-sacrificing, which can be off-putting to potential romantic partners. It creates an odd paradox, where the very traits that are meant to attract affection instead repel it, leaving nice guys caught in a frustrating loop where their generosity goes unacknowledged. The emotional landscape for nice guys is often rife with turmoil. Despite striving to meet the societal expectations of kindness and politeness, they can feel invisible, as if the more they give, the less they actually receive in return. This imbalance between their actions and the absence of recognition can take a heavy toll. They experience feelings of isolation, resentment, and confusion, questioning why their efforts don't seem to resonate with others. While they adhere to the notion that being nice should lead to positive outcomes, the reality can be jarring. The weight of these unreciprocated feelings can contribute to a growing frustration and dissatisfaction with their own self-worth, leading to emotional distress. The deeper they delve into the plight of the nice guy, the more they may find themselves wrestling with their identity and purpose in relationships. The emotional cost of these experiences can become a breeding ground for bitterness, affecting not just romantic pursuits, but friendships and familial relationships as well. An important takeaway for anyone navigating the complexities of attraction and relationships is to recognize the need for balance. Genuine connections are built on mutual respect and understanding rather than one-sided sacrifices. It's crucial for nice guys to communicate their feelings openly and establish boundaries that allow them to take care of their own emotional health. Instead of solely seeking validation through acts of kindness, focusing on building authentic connections can lead to more fulfilling interactions and relationships. The social conditioning that turns men into people pleasers. In analyzing cultural narratives and societal norms, it becomes evident that many messages resonate with the idea that men should conform to expectations rather than embrace their true selves. This compliance is often reinforced through a variety of channels, from media portrayals to social interactions. Movies, television shows, and advertisements frequently depict men who achieve acceptance and love by being accommodating, selfless, and often sacrificing their own needs for the comfort of others. This sets a precedent that equates masculinity with being agreeable, fostering a belief that a man's worth is measured by his ability to please those around him. The idea that emotions should be managed and that assertiveness is often perceived as aggression only serves to deepen this conditioning. Many boys grow up internalizing the notion that vulnerability is a weakness, shaping their behaviors to mirror compliance over authenticity. Ultimately, this creates a toxic dichotomy where the desire to be accepted shapes choices and interactions, leading men away from genuine self-expression. Identifying critical moments in upbringing offers a profound understanding of how the nice guy mentality develops. This mindset is often forged in childhood through familial expectations, where boys are taught to be the peacemakers, the helpers, and the ones who put others first. Parents, often unknowingly, instill these values by praising compliant behavior while criticizing assertiveness, inadvertently signaling to their sons that they must earn love and approval through service and obedience. Additionally, media influences significantly shape perceptions of masculinity during formative years. The narratives embraced in cartoons, films, and books often emphasize the archetype of the nice guy as the hero, who wins the heart of the love interest not through confidence or passion, but through unwavering kindness and consideration. These strategic representations inform expectations, leading boys to model their behavior accordingly. As they navigate adolescence and enter adulthood, many find themselves entrenched in this mindset, alternating between suppressing their desires and yearning for validation. Understanding the intersection of societal pressures and personal development is key to breaking free from this cycle. It starts with recognizing the narratives that have been internalized, questioning their validity, and seeking individual authenticity. For those trapped in the people-pleasing mentality, reflecting on personal values and embracing assertiveness can lead to more fulfilling relationships and self-acceptance. Starting small, by expressing honest preferences and setting boundaries, can help recalibrate one's approach to interactions. The journey towards authenticity is not just about shedding the layers of conditioning, but also about celebrating the unique aspects of one's identity. Ultimately, choosing authenticity over compliance fosters a deeper connection with oneself and others, nurturing relationships that are based on mutual respect and understanding. Chapter 1. Nice Guy Syndrome, Signs and Symptoms. Are you a nice guy or just a good person? The key differences. Navigating the complex landscape of human behavior can reveal stark differences between those who identify as nice guys and those who are genuinely good-hearted individuals. The traits that define each category stand out when closely examined. Nice guys often exhibit behaviors aimed at gaining approval or initiating certain social outcomes. Their kindness may come with strings attached, often revealing an underlying agenda influenced by a need for validation. This need for approval can manifest in various ways, such as self-sacrifice in hopes of being liked or a reluctance to stand firm in personal beliefs for fear of rejection. On the other hand, genuinely good-hearted individuals offer kindness without expectation. Their motives are rooted in empathy and a sincere desire to uplift others without any hidden agenda. When a good person does something kind, it comes from a place of inner generosity, rather than a desire for external validation. To distinguish between these two paths, self-reflection becomes crucial. Consider the motivation behind your actions. Are you offering help in hopes of recognition or approval? Do you find yourself doing favors only to feel worthy or accepted? A good starting point for this introspection is to examine your feelings after performing an act of kindness. If you often feel anxious about how others perceive your actions, it could suggest that your kindness is rooted in a need for external validation rather than genuine generosity. The goal is to embrace an authentic version of yourself, where your kindness flows naturally, uninhibited by the fear of rejection or a plea for acceptance. It may take time to unravel these motivations, but being honest with oneself is key to understanding whether you fall into the nice guy category or if you are truly a good person. Recognizing these differences isn't merely an academic exercise. It has real implications in relationships and personal fulfillment. By shifting your focus from seeking approval to fostering genuine connections, you enhance the quality of your interactions. When you do things out of pure goodwill instead of an ulterior motive, you not only enrich your life, but also inspire others to act authentically. To practice this shift, start small. Perform an act of kindness anonymously, or help someone solely because you empathize with their situation. Developing a habit of selfless acts can lighten the burden of seeking approval, leading to deeper, more authentic relationships and a fulfilling sense of self. Ultimately, being good is not about how others see you. It's about how you feel about yourself and your ability to spread kindness without conditions. Common traits of nice guys. Nice guys often exhibit key behaviors that set them apart. They have a tendency to evade conflict, which can manifest as a consistent urge to keep the peace at all costs. Instead of addressing issues head-on, they might choose to suppress their own feelings in favor of avoiding disagreements. Their approach often leads them to overly prioritize the needs and feelings of others, sometimes at the expense of their own well-being. This constant placing of others first may create an image of reliability and gentleness. But beneath this surface, they may feel trapped in a role that demands sacrifice and self-neglect. The fiercest loyalty to friends, partners, and family often comes with the cost of their own desires slipping further down on the list of priorities, making their happiness contingent on pleasing others. The roots of these traits often lay deep within their psyche, driven by fears of rejection and an intense longing for acceptance. Many nice guys grew up in environments where they learned that approval was something to be earned through service and compliance. Hurtful experiences, such as rejection or emotional distance from loved ones, compound these fears, leading to a continuous cycle of seeking validation through appeasement. The quest for acceptance can often become a powerful motivator, pushing them to ignore their own needs and internalize their emotions. This overemphasis on external approval can distort their self-image, causing them to believe that their worth is tied to their ability to please others rather than intrinsic qualities that deserve acknowledgement. Understanding these underlying motivations can illuminate why nice guys often feel undervalued and unfulfilled. For anyone navigating relationships with nice guys, recognizing and validating their struggles can facilitate more authentic interactions. Encouraging them to express their own needs and assert themselves in a healthy way could break the cycle that often confines them. At the same time, those who identify as nice guys should consider exploring their motivations deeply, acknowledging that true connection requires vulnerability and the courage to embrace conflict as a normal part of relationships. By learning to voice their own desires and stand firm in their boundaries, they open the door to more balanced and rewarding connections with others. Avoiding conflict to keep the peace. Conflict avoidance has a significant psychological impact on personal relationships and emotional health. When individuals consistently sidestep disagreements, they often end up stifling their own feelings and needs. This emotional suppression can lead to frustration, resentment, and an array of internal conflicts. The desire to keep the peace might seem honorable, yet it can create an atmosphere filled with unspoken tensions. Over time, such avoidance can erode trust, as partners may begin to feel that they cannot honestly express their feelings without causing a rift. The result is a fragile peace built on silence and discontent. Emotional health declines as individuals struggle with anxiety stemming from unresolved issues, ultimately leading to greater distance in relationships. The irony of conflict avoidance surfaces particularly among those labeled as nice guys. In their relentless quest to be agreeable and accommodating, they may inadvertently facilitate greater discord and dissatisfaction. By evading necessary discussions, they let misunderstandings fest on the vine. As grievances build beneath the surface, the facade of harmony becomes increasingly fragile. Instead of fostering connection, nice guys may find themselves pushing loved ones away, who crave authenticity and openness over politeness. The avoidance of conflict not only fails to resolve issues but can actually intensify them, leading to blow-ups over trivial matters as built-up frustration finds an outlet. This paradox illustrates that sometimes confrontation is the pathway to understanding, not just turmoil. Over-apologizing and seeking approval. Over-apologizing often reflects deep-seated insecurities that can manifest in various social scenarios. Individuals may frequently utter phrases like "I'm sorry" even when no offense has occurred, an act that can erode self-esteem over time. This habitual need to apologize frequently stems from a lack of confidence, generating a subconscious belief that one's presence or opinions are unwelcome. Each unnecessary apology can amplify feelings of inadequacy, creating a cycle where self-worth is contingent on perceived social acceptance. This insistence on apologizing can project a message of self-deprecation, sending the unintended signal that one does not recognize their own value or the validity of their feelings. In environments where assertiveness is valued, such behavior can lead to misunderstandings and misinterpretations, wherein others may question the individual's capability or authority. Seeking approval plays a crucial role in shaping interpersonal dynamics, often altering the authenticity of interactions. Those who habitually seek external validation may find themselves altering their true selves to meet the perceived expectations of others. This dependence can hinder genuine connections, as relationships become transactional rather than meaningful. The constant need for approval can lead to a cycle of superficial validation, where individuals engage in behaviors designed to please others while neglecting their own desires and preferences. Over time, this pattern may foster resentment and alienation, as the pursuit of approval comes at the cost of personal authenticity. Ultimately, such behaviors may create a facade of contentment while underlying feelings of dissatisfaction and disconnection simmer just below the surface. Recognizing these patterns is the first step toward transformation. A useful approach is to practice self-affirmation regularly, reminding oneself of inherent worth and the validity of inner thoughts and feelings. By replacing automatic apologies with assertive expressions of self, individuals can begin to reclaim their voice and foster healthier relationships where authenticity thrives over mere acceptance. Being overly accommodating and putting others first at your own expense. Many people, often labeled as nice guys, find themselves in a cycle of self-sacrifice where they consistently prioritize the needs of others over their own. This behavior stems from a deep-rooted psychological desire for acceptance and validation. By neglecting their own needs, these individuals often believe they can foster deeper connections or gain approval from those around them. However, what starts as an altruistic inclination can spiral into a pattern of self-neglect. The internal dialogue shapes their identity, one of selflessness, masking underlying feelings of inadequacy. The nice guy feels he has to be the supportive friend or partner at the cost of his own happiness, losing sight of what he requires to feel whole and fulfilled. This psychological sacrifice creates a dynamic that is not only unsustainable but deeply damaging. As their own needs are brushed aside, they risk developing resentment towards those they bent over backward to please. The neglect of one's own needs doesn't come without consequences. Over time, this self-denial leads to feelings of resentment, particularly when expectations go unmet. When nice guys pour their energy into anticipating the needs of others, they often cultivate a narrative that their worth is tied to their accommodating nature. When those efforts do not yield a reciprocal response, feelings of frustration and disappointment arise. This culminates in an emotional whirlpool, the ensemble of unfulfilled expectations, perceived arrogance from others, and self-awareness of personal sacrifices. The internal conflict created by unmet expectations may lead to an explosive realization that living for others at the expense of oneself is indeed a flawed approach. Instead of fostering connection, it often breeds bitterness and isolation, causing a widening gap from the very people they seek to please. Breaking free from this pattern requires a careful reevaluation of priorities. It's essential to recognize self-care as a fundamental component of healthy relationships. Finding balance means understanding that personal needs are not selfish, but a necessary part of being a whole individual. The practice of self-acknowledgement can be transformative. Engage in conversations with others about your feelings and expectations in a transparent manner. Setting boundaries is not an act of hostility, but rather a vital skill for nurturing more authentic connections. Remember, putting yourself first is not about diminishing others. It is about creating a foundation of self-worth that allows you to engage fully and generously in relationships. Feeling frustrated when kindness isn't rewarded. Many people, especially those who identify as nice guys, often hold on to a misconception that their acts of kindness should automatically yield appreciation or reciprocation. This belief can stem from a desire to be liked or accepted, leading to an expectation that being nice is a kind of currency that should be exchanged for affection or validation. When this expectation is not met, frustration sets in. The emotional fallout can be confusing, characterized by feelings of resentment, disappointment, and even indignation. It raises the question, why should kindness come with strings attached? As these nice guys grapple with their unmet expectations, they often overlook the possibility that genuine kindness may simply be an act without an expectation of reward. This failure to recognize kindness as an intrinsic value can twist the act into a transaction, ultimately damaging relationships and self-esteem. Diving deeper, the issues surrounding self-worth often intertwine with the conditional nature of their kindness. When their generosity is not reciprocated, it can trigger a broader existential crisis about their value and place in the world. This is especially true if their identity is so heavily built around the notion of being the nice guy. They may find themselves questioning their worth and whether their kindness holds any meaning. Such thoughts can lead to self-doubt and a skewed self-image, where the belief that they are deserving of love and appreciation becomes conditional on external validation. This sets up a vicious cycle. The more they seek validation through kindness, the more they risk feeling inadequate when it fails to materialize. Recognizing that one's self-worth should be independent of others' actions is crucial in breaking free from this cycle and fostering authentic interactions. To move away from the frustration associated with unreciprocated kindness, a powerful shift can be made by practicing self-compassion and redefining one's relationship with kindness. Rather than viewing kindness as a bargaining chip, it can be seen as a reflection of one's values and character. Fostering kindness that is unconditional, where the aim is simply to contribute positively to the lives of others without expectation, can cultivate a truer sense of fulfillment. This approach encourages individuals to explore their intrinsic motivations while recognizing that they are worthy of love and connection regardless of how others respond. Embracing this reframing technique not only alleviates frustration, but also enriches interpersonal relationships and enhances overall emotional well-being. The psychology behind this behavior and where it originates. The nice guy syndrome often traces its roots back to early childhood experiences and the messages we receive from our families and communities. Many men who identify with this syndrome find that their upbringing emphasized the importance of being nice, kind, and accommodating. In many households, emotional expression was limited, and boys were taught to suppress their feelings and prioritize the happiness of others over their own. This conditioning creates a foundation where external validation becomes crucial, leading individuals to adopt behaviors that they hope will be rewarded with acceptance or love. Cultural narratives also play a significant role in shaping this behavior. Movies, television shows, and literature often glorify the archetype of the nice guy, who, despite his shortcomings, eventually wins over the love interest through perseverance and selflessness. These portrayals can create unrealistic expectations of what it means to be nice and reinforce the belief that such behavior will lead to romantic success. As a result, many men feel pressure to conform to these stereotypes, sometimes at the expense of their authentic selves and desires. The societal conditioning that elevates niceness to a virtue often blinds individuals to the complexity of human attraction. From a young age, many people are taught that being nice, compliant, and agreeable is the pathway to being liked or loved. This conditioning overlooks the importance of confidence, authenticity, and assertiveness, qualities that are frequently more attractive in romantic partners. While being kind and considerate is undoubtedly important, the notion that being excessively nice will guarantee attraction can be misleading. In reality, relationships thrive on mutual respect, attraction, and a genuine connection, which can be stifled by unhealthy overcompensation. Chapter 2. The Lies Society Told You About Being a Good Man. The childhood programming that conditions men to seek approval. From a young age, boys are often conditioned to value conformity over authenticity. Society, in its myriad forms, communicates a singular narrative that being nice is more valued than being real. This begins in childhood, as boys observe the world around them. They see that expressions of toughness or independence might be met with disapproval, while being polite, compliant, and agreeable often brings praise. The result is a subconscious drive to seek approval through niceness, which creates a facade rather than allowing space for genuine emotions and thoughts. Expectations from parents, teachers, and peers reinforce this notion. When a boy expresses his true feelings or demonstrates vulnerability, he may experience ridicule or rejection. On the other hand, acts of kindness or selflessness are celebrated. Over time, this reinforces a pattern where the approval of others hinges upon superficial niceness, deterring boys from developing a sense of their true selves. As they navigate these formative years, the idea of being nice morphs into a coping mechanism, both a shield against the harshness of judgment and a means to achieve social acceptance. As boys grow into men, the impact of this early conditioning can create profound psychological effects. The need for approval can lead to anxiety and insecurity, where their self-worth becomes tightly knit with external validation. Many men may find themselves trapped in relationships where they prioritize pleasing others over their own needs and desires. This dynamic not only stifles personal growth, but can also lead to resentment, as the authentic self is abandoned in favor of maintaining an image of niceness. Long-term, the facade of niceness can complicate intimate relationships. Men may struggle to communicate their true feelings or desires, fearing disapproval or conflict. Consequently, this can lead to feelings of isolation and dissatisfaction in both romantic and platonic relationships. Moreover, this mental conditioning often inhibits emotional resilience, as men feel unprepared to face adversity without leaning heavily on the approval they've come to rely on. Awareness of this pattern can be a critical first step toward reclaiming authenticity. Simple practices like journaling about feelings, prioritizing self-reflection, and openly discussing emotions with trusted friends can help men begin to disentangle their identities from societal expectations. The journey toward being more genuine and less reliant on others' approval not only enriches personal well-being, but also fosters deeper connections with others. Why being nice is often just fear of rejection in disguise. Many men, often referred to as nice guys, find themselves entangled in a web of their own making, driven by an overwhelming need for approval and acceptance. This desire stems from a deep-rooted fear of rejection, which can compel them to prioritize being nice over forging authentic connections. The nice guy persona is crafted with the intention of being agreeable and non-confrontational, yet this facade frequently masks profound insecurities. By adopting a demeanor that prioritizes the feelings and responses of others, they seek to avoid the pain of being rejected or criticized. This strategy can seem effective in the short term, as it often elicits positive feedback from peers and romantic interests alike. However, the underlying fear remains, creating a vicious cycle where superficial niceness becomes a shield against genuine vulnerability. The crux of the issue lies in the avoidance of true self-expression, where the desire for connection is sacrificed at the altar of social acceptance. The fear of rejection does not simply vanish once a nice guy enters a relationship. Rather, it intertwines with their interactions, creating a tapestry of anxiety and unfulfillment. In dating or friendships, the nice guy may go above and beyond, often engaging in self-sacrificial behaviors, hoping to secure affection and validation from their partner. However, this approach can lead to resentment. They often feel like they're performing rather than being themselves, which breeds dissatisfaction on both sides. A partner may sense that something is amiss, as the nice guy's actions may feel obligatory rather than heartfelt, leading to emotional distance. As the relationship progresses, the nice guy may also struggle with setting boundaries, fearing that asserting their needs could lead to conflict or, worse, rejection. The inability to express true feelings or assert personal desires creates a cycle of anxiety, where the fear of losing the relationship overshadows the potential for deeper emotional intimacy. Consequently, what was intended as a pathway to connection instead becomes a barrier that keeps both partners from experiencing the authentic joy of companionship. Recognizing these dynamics is essential for breaking the cycle. A practical tip for anyone striving for deeper connections is to practice open communication. Rather than defaulting to niceness to avoid conflict, expressing one's true feelings can cultivate stronger, more genuine relationships. It allows both partners to share their vulnerabilities and create a safe space for authentic dialogue, leading to deeper emotional bonds. How Hollywood and romance movies sold men a fake dream. Media narratives shape our understanding of love and relationships, often presenting distorted realities that can skew perceptions and expectations. In the realm of romance movies, they frequently depict idealized versions of love that are far removed from the complexities of real life. These films portray lead characters who effortlessly attract partners through grand gestures, witty banter, and a charm that seems almost magical. The impact of these narratives on male behavior is significant, leading many men to believe that they, too, can achieve success in romance with that same charm or a single heroic act. This fosters unrealistic expectations, prompting them to chase after an unattainable ideal of romance where love is wrapped in perfection and perpetual bliss. When these expectations clash with reality, disappointment can set in, leading to unhealthy behaviors, frustration, and resentment towards both themselves and the women they pursue. The portrayal of nice guys in film further complicates the landscape of attraction and relationships. Often depicted as the loyal friend who dotes on the female lead, these characters might initially seem sympathetic. However, this representation skews the dynamics between generosity and romantic interest, suggesting that kind behavior guarantees affection and reciprocation. In reality, women often seek partners who embody a balance of traits, not solely kindness or self-sacrifice. This misrepresentation can pressure real nice guys into believing that their gentleness should automatically qualify them for romantic success, creating an entitlement mentality that can sour genuine interactions. When real-life rejection occurs, it can lead to a sense of betrayal, pushing these men into resentment and further misunderstanding of what women truly value. To navigate the landscape shaped by these Hollywood tropes, it's important for men to cultivate a realistic understanding of relationships. Recognizing that love is a complex mixture of compatibility, timing, and mutual interest can foster healthier attitudes toward dating. Instead of emulating the scripted actions of characters, men should focus on developing their authentic selves and engaging with women as partners rather than prizes to be won. By embracing genuine connection and empathetic communication, they can shift away from harmful notions perpetuated by media and work towards fulfilling and respectful relationships that are both the heart and the mind. The difference between respect and attraction. Respect and attraction are two powerful forces that influence relationships, but they are distinctly different. Earning respect often comes from one's character, actions, and integrity. This means that individuals might admire or honor someone for their accomplishments, honesty, or ethical values. On the other hand, attraction is tied to a deeper, more visceral sense of desire and physical appeal. People can feel attracted to someone because of their looks, charisma, or the way they carry themselves, regardless of their character or actions. It's crucial to understand that a person can respect another without feeling any physical attraction and vice versa. These two emotions do not always overlap. A kind, respectful partner may be seen as a platonic friend by someone who might be drawn to someone else who embodies a different kind of allure. Recognizing this difference is essential because it shapes how we perceive and interact with one another in social dynamics and romantic relationships. Understanding the distinction between respect and attraction can empower men, allowing them to reframe their approach to relationships. When men recognize that attraction is not solely built on respect, they can shift their perspective on what it takes to engage someone romantically. Instead of solely focusing on being respectful or good-natured, they might explore different aspects of themselves that can spark attraction. This means embracing elements like authenticity, vulnerability, and confidence, as these qualities can ignite desire in ways that respect alone cannot. This awareness allows for a more holistic approach to connection. Men can invest in personal growth by understanding their unique charm and what truly attracts others. When they learn to balance respect with attraction, they create a more dynamic approach to relationships, one that welcomes both admiration and desire. This conscious awareness can lead to healthier connections that foster genuine intimacy and excitement. A practical tip for navigating the realms of respect and attraction is to engage in open communication. Express your thoughts and feelings honestly to those you are interested in or respect. This practice not only builds respect, but also clarifies intentions and feelings, paving the way for genuine attraction. By taking the time to understand yourself and your desires, while also respecting others, you can cultivate deeper relationships that honor both the heart and the mind. Chapter 3. The long-term consequences of the nice guy trap. Why nice guys often feel unfulfilled, resentful, and exhausted. The emotional and psychological consequences of living in the nice guy trap can be profound and long-lasting. Many men trapped in this cycle often feel a persistent sense of dissatisfaction, as if they are constantly giving but never receiving the validation they crave. They have been conditioned to believe that kindness, compliance, and the avoidance of conflict are the keys to earning love and respect. Over time, this mindset creates a disconnect between their real selves and the personas they project. They may feel trapped in a role that demands they suppress their true emotions, leading to feelings of frustration and inadequacy. The weight of unmet needs accumulates, often manifesting as resentment towards others who seem to effortlessly attain what they desire: love, passion, and recognition. Ultimately, the toll this takes can lead to mental exhaustion and a sense of emotional starvation, leaving them feeling unworthy and questioning their value in relationships. These feelings of unfulfillment often give rise to destructive patterns in relationships. Nice guys may find themselves stuck in a cycle where they overextend themselves, constantly trying to please others without expressing their true desires. This imbalance can create a repetitive dynamic where their partners may take their efforts for granted, leading to feelings of resentment. Instead of fostering intimacy, these patterns tend to create distance, as unsaid needs build up and festering emotions go unexamined. The nice guy may react by becoming passive-aggressive or even withdrawing emotionally, believing that this is the only way to cope with their unvoiced frustrations. Such behavior not only jeopardizes relationships, but also reinforces the narrative that they must continue to sacrifice their own well-being for the sake of others. This cycle can escalate into a crisis point, where the nice guy feels more like a victim than a partner, leading them to distance themselves further from meaningful connections. Breaking free from this cycle is essential for fostering healthier relationships and fulfilling emotional connections. A practical tip for those feeling trapped is to start small by expressing their feelings or desires more openly, regardless of how uncomfortable it might initially feel. Being honest about needs does not inherently make someone selfish. Instead, it paves the way for deeper understanding and intimacy. It's vital to understand that true connection arises from authenticity, not servitude. By recognizing their own value and communicating clearly, nice guys can shift the dynamics of their relationships, opening space for mutual respect and genuine affection. The dangerous cycle of giving too much and expecting love in return. The cycle of self-sacrifice often begins with good intentions. Nice guys believe that their kindness and selflessness will be met with love and affection. They go out of their way to meet the needs of others, often at the expense of their own happiness. This belief is fueled by a desire for validation, leading them to think that if they give enough, they will eventually receive love in return. However, this cycle can become dangerous as it creates an imbalance. The nice guy may find himself in relationships where his efforts are taken for granted. When kindness isn't reciprocated, feelings of resentment and confusion can develop. The nice guy feels as though he is doing everything right, yet still finds himself unloved or unappreciated. This can lead to a distorted view of relationships, where sacrifice is seen as the only way to earn love, causing emotional distress and perpetuating the cycle of giving in hopes of receiving. As the nice guy continues to pour his energy into relationships without receiving equivalent affection, disappointment grows. This escalation often manifests as a profound sense of betrayal, especially when the other person seems indifferent to the sacrifices made. Each unreciprocated gesture chips away at the nice guy's self-esteem, leading to feelings of inadequacy and frustration. Eventually, this cycle may push him to extremes, either by becoming passive-aggressive or withdrawing emotionally altogether. The realization that kindness does not always equate to love breeds a toxic mixture of despair and bitterness, clouding judgment and distorting expectations of future relationships. The nice guy may begin to think that expressing his needs is a sign of weakness, fearing that vulnerability will only lead to more pain. This self-imposed armor hinders the possibility of forming genuine connections, trapping him in a lonely cycle where love seems perpetually out of reach. Recognizing the need for mutual respect and reciprocity in relationships can help break this pattern and lead to healthier dynamics. Awareness is the first step in escaping this cycle. It is essential for individuals to differentiate between healthy giving and self-sacrifice that undermines their well-being. By understanding the balance of give and take in relationships, it is possible to foster connections based on mutual respect, ensuring that kindness is returned without the expectation of a specific reward. Prioritizing self-worth over the need for external validation can lead to healthier interactions, allowing love to flourish naturally rather than through pressure or obligation. How being too nice can lead to being used, ignored, or manipulated. Many people believe that being nice is inherently good, leading to kindness and warmth in relationships. However, this accommodating nature can make individuals, often termed nice guys, vulnerable to exploitation. Their tendency to prioritize others' needs above their own can create a breeding ground for manipulation. When they are consistently agreeable and eager to please, they might attract individuals who take advantage of their kindness, using it as a facade to pursue their own interests. This often results in the nice guys feeling taken for granted and, in some cases, even confused about the nature of their relationships. The desire to be liked or loved can overshadow their ability to see the red flags that indicate they are being used, leading them further into a cycle of neglect and disappointment. The consequences of this manipulation can be profound, affecting how nice guys perceive themselves. When they are used or ignored, it can lead to feelings of inadequacy and diminish their self-worth. They may begin to internalize the belief that their kindness is not valued or recognized, fostering a negative self-image that compounds over time. This cycle creates a vicious circle. The more they give, the less they feel appreciated, which can cause emotional distress and a deep sense of loneliness. The struggle to balance their genuine desire to be kind with the realization that some take advantage of their niceness can be disheartening. As they grapple with these feelings, the fear of rejection or abandonment may cause them to stay in unhealthy relationships, further silencing their voice and desires. Finding a balance between empathy and self-assertion is crucial. It's important for individuals to recognize their worth and set boundaries. By learning to say no when necessary and being assertive about their own needs, they can maintain their kindness without becoming a doormat. This shift doesn't mean abandoning their core values. Rather, it enhances them by ensuring that their compassion is matched with self-respect. A practical tip is to check in with oneself regularly. Engaging in self-reflection can help identify feelings of frustration or resentment, signaling the need to reassess boundaries in relationships. Recognizing the signs of manipulation early and valuing one's own feelings can lead to healthier, more mutually beneficial relationships. Real-life case studies of men who lost relationships, careers, and self-worth due to the nice guy mentality. Case studies reveal the profound impact of the nice guy mentality on men's lives, often leading to relationship breakdowns and career setbacks. One poignant example is that of Mark, a man who spent years attempting to gain approval by prioritizing others' needs over his own. This mindset made him the perfect friend, but left him feeling invisible in romantic relationships. Mark worked hard to be what he believed women wanted: thoughtful, supportive, and self-effacing. Yet, when he was rejected by a woman he deeply cared for, it was not just a personal loss. It cascaded into a much larger crisis. His self-esteem plummeted, affecting his interactions with colleagues and friends until the very essence of who he was became obscured by the quest for external validation. Ultimately, Mark found himself standing alone, unable to grasp why his relationships had unraveled and why he felt disconnected from a career that once brought him joy. This represents just one of many narratives where the nice guy mentality leads to significant disruption. Another case is Anthony, who believed that if he just kept putting others first at work, he would be recognized and promoted. However, this approach led to resentment and burnout. He found himself overlooked for promotions, not because he lacked skills, but because he had allowed others to take credit for his efforts. Anthony's identity became tied to the sacrifices he made for his team, leaving him feeling exploited rather than valued. The emotional toll of crossing his own boundaries began to manifest in anxiety, preventing him from advocating for his achievements. Observing Anthony's journey serves as a cautionary tale. It emphasizes the importance of self-advocacy and maintaining balance rather than deferential compliance, which can lead to feeling stagnant and ultimately unappreciated. These examples illustrate critical lessons on avoiding the pitfalls associated with the nice guy mentality. Understanding the reasons behind such behavioral patterns can be enlightening. Setting personal boundaries is essential. Men caught in the nice guy trap often feel that they must sacrifice their needs for approval, yet true worth comes from balance. Advocating for oneself and articulating desires does not equate to narcissism, but denotes healthy self-care. Building strong emotional intelligence is essential. Awareness of one's feelings allows for deeper connections while maintaining self-integrity. Focusing on self-improvement, not solely for the approval of others, can reignite passions and foster authentic relationships. Recognizing the difference between kindness and self-sacrifice is vital to reclaiming self-worth. The journey to self-acceptance and embodying genuine masculinity is achievable when one steps back from the nice guy mentality and embraces an authentic self. Chapter 4. Attraction in Your 20s, the Age of Social Proof and Confidence. Why confidence beats kindness every single time. Research consistently shows that in social settings, particularly among young adults in their 20s, confidence is often seen as a more attractive trait than kindness. Studies reveal that when individuals display self-assuredness and assertiveness, they are more likely to be perceived positively by their peers. This attraction is not just limited to personal relationships, but extends to professional environments as well. People gravitate towards those who exude confidence because it often translates to leadership potential and the ability to take charge in various situations. Furthermore, confidence can enhance one's sense of belonging within groups, making it a key factor in establishing social hierarchies. Observations reveal that in many scenarios, kindness, while valuable, can sometimes be overshadowed by a confident demeanor, leading to a perception that the confident individual is more capable and desirable. Embracing this dynamic offers insights into the underlying psychology of attraction and interpersonal relationships. To cultivate confidence as a magnet for attraction, there are practical steps one can undertake. First, embracing personal strengths and recognizing one's unique qualities fosters a foundational sense of self-worth. Engaging in activities that push comfort zones, whether it's public speaking, taking on leadership roles, or even simple social gatherings, builds resilience and self-assurance over time. Body language plays a crucial role. Adopting an open posture, maintaining eye contact, and using a firm handshake can instantly project confidence to others. Setting achievable goals and celebrating small victories also nurtures confidence, reinforcing the belief in one's capabilities. Moreover, surrounding oneself with positive, supportive individuals can create an environment that cultivates self-confidence while discouraging self-doubt. All of these methods not only enhance personal charisma, but also change how others perceive and respond to you, enriching social interactions. The journey to becoming a more confident individual is ongoing and deeply rewarding. Instead of fixating solely on kindness as the ideal trait, consider developing a robust self-image where confidence reigns. Confidence draws people in, opening doors to exciting opportunities and relationships. When striving for personal growth, remember that confidence is not an inherent trait, but a skill you can practice and refine, ultimately aiding in forging deeper connections both socially and professionally. Embrace challenges, invest in your self-development, and let your confidence shine through. How attraction is based on status, energy, and ambition. In the realm of social dynamics, particularly among young people, status and ambition often take center stage in the game of attraction. It becomes less about being merely kind or agreeable, and more about what one brings to the table in terms of personal achievements and social standing. Young individuals often seek out mates who exhibit traits indicative of higher social status, which may include wealth, popularity, or charisma. This pursuit of status is not just about aesthetics. It's deeply rooted in evolutionary psychology. High-status individuals are perceived as better resources, offering not only safety but also opportunities for a more fulfilling life. Thus, the allure of those who are ambitious, who demonstrate a drive towards personal goals and achievements, becomes intertwined with their ability to elevate one's social standing. As a result, those who fit into the mold of ambition and success naturally attract attention, overshadowing those who may offer only kindness without the backing of tangible accomplishments. Ambition becomes a powerful trait that elevates one's desirability. When someone is driven, there is an energy that radiates, a magnetism that draws others in. This energy is often associated with a vision, a direction in life, and the willingness to strive for more. In personal development, ambition inspires one to push boundaries, pursue knowledge, and embrace challenges. It fosters a growth mindset that is not only attractive but essential for long-term success and fulfillment. This means that as individuals work on cultivating their ambitions, they also indirectly become more appealing to others. The journey of ambition is reflective. It often leads to personal growth, creating a more interesting and complex individual, which enhances overall allure. Individuals striving for greatness, whether through their careers, hobbies, or personal passions, create an aura that is hard to resist. The energy of ambition, tied with a clear vision, is a potent draw in personal relationships, illustrating how intertwined attraction is with one's personal journey. To harness the power of attraction stemming from status, energy, and ambition, one does not need to sacrifice kindness or niceness. Instead, balance is key. Cultivating aspirations and actively working toward personal goals results in a fulfilling life that captures attention. Encourage the pursuit of passions and embrace the pursuit of growth. This not only enhances self-worth, but also attracts others who value ambition and determination. Being proactive and engaged in life's challenges can create a magnetic presence that appeals to those around you. Recognizing and nurturing one's ambitions while maintaining a foundation of genuine kindness leads to richer, more rewarding relationships. Why being a nice guy gets ignored, while charisma gets rewarded. In social settings, the dynamics of interaction often reveal a telling truth. Charismatic individuals tend to outshine their overly nice counterparts. It's not uncommon to see someone who simply exudes energy and confidence drawing people in while the well-mannered, gentle soul remains behind in the shadows. This phenomenon can be attributed to the engaging presence that charisma commands. Charismatic individuals have an inherent ability to create excitement and inspire interest among their peers. They possess a magnetic quality that captures attention and makes others feel alive in their company. This affects how people perceive value in social interactions, often unconsciously. While the nice guy may be sincere and genuine, his subtle demeanor can get overlooked in favor of someone who brings a vibrant aura, making the interaction more dynamic and memorable. The energy a person brings into a social environment plays a crucial role in how they are perceived. Charisma is not simply about being outgoing. It embodies a certain zest for life that resonates with others. When a charismatic individual enters a room, they often shift the atmosphere, drawing people toward them like moths to a flame. This can be attributed to body language, tone of voice, and the sheer enthusiasm that radiates from them. They possess a knack for storytelling, weaving narratives that captivate the audience, making their presence not just felt but desired. This compelling energy creates an environment where people feel compelled to engage, listen, and connect. In contrast, while the overly nice individual might be considerate and pleasant, their quiet presence can blend into the background, failing to stir excitement. They may indeed foster stable relationships based on kindness, but in vibrant social situations, that kindness can feel overshadowed by the sheer magnetism of a charismatic individual. Understanding the allure of charisma offers crucial insights into attraction, masculinity, and the psychology of desire. It highlights the importance of actively engaging with one's environment and emulating traits that resonate with others. Becoming aware of how you carry yourself, the stories you share, and the energy you bring can significantly enhance your social interactions. Instead of merely striving to be perceived as nice, consider how to embody charisma through genuine enthusiasm and a vibrant presence. Remember, it's not about abandoning kindness, but rather blending it with a spark that draws people in, making you not just a friend, but a presence people are eager to be around. Case study: the difference between the nice guy and the bold guy at 25. In a social or romantic context, the difference between a nice guy and a bold guy can be striking. The nice guy is often characterized by his kindness, attentiveness, and his tendency to prioritize the needs of others over his own desires. While these traits can foster genuine connections, they may also lead to situations where the nice guy feels overlooked or taken for granted. For instance, he may find himself in the friend zone, where potential romantic interests appreciate his soft nature but fail to see him as a romantic partner. Conversely, the bold guy, exuding confidence and decisiveness, often takes charge in social settings. He easily approaches potential romantic interests, unafraid of rejection. His assertiveness can create an air of intrigue and desirability, making him more attractive in the eyes of many. In romantic encounters, this confidence can lead to immediate connections and dates, as people are drawn to his fearless pursuit. However, this doesn't mean the bold guy lacks depth. He often has a clear understanding of what he wants and doesn't hesitate to express it. The contrasting outcomes of these two personas, while both capable of forming connections, highlight broader themes in attraction, dominance, and vulnerability in interpersonal relationships. Understanding the distinct approaches of the nice guy and the bold guy reveals actionable lessons about self-presentation and attraction. The nice guy's inclination to seek approval and fear of rejection can be improved by fostering self-confidence and embracing his own desires. Engaging in self-reflection and actively pursuing personal interests can help him build a more well-rounded identity that is appealing and authentic. On the other hand, the bold guy, while often successful in attracting attention, should be mindful of empathy and emotional intelligence. Learning to balance assertiveness with vulnerability can lead to deeper, long-lasting connections rather than fleeting encounters. Ultimately, both character types can learn from each other. The nice guy can adopt some boldness, while the bold guy can learn the value of kindness and emotional depth. This blending of traits can create a more holistic approach to relationships, enriching their experiences and building stronger connections. Understanding these dynamics also raises an important point about the fundamental human need for genuine connection. While boldness may initially attract attention, it is the ability to connect on a deeper emotional level that sustains relationships over time. A flirtation may spark interest, but it is authenticity and mutual respect that continue to kindle a flame. Therefore, regardless of one's persona, focusing on self-awareness, developing emotional intelligence, and cultivating sincerity in interactions can greatly enhance one's ability to attract and maintain meaningful relationships. Whether you identify as a nice guy or a bold guy, integrating these lessons can profoundly influence your social and romantic success. Chapter 5. Attraction in your 40s, the power shift. How confidence and life experience start to matter more. As men transition into their 40s, a noticeable shift occurs in what they find attractive in themselves and in others. Youthful exuberance often gives way to a deeper appreciation for maturity and life experience. This marks a time when the weight of innocence, once alluring in earlier years, begins to pale in comparison to the richness of experience. Men in this phase are increasingly drawn to companions who possess a certain depth. Those who have weathered the storms of life, faced challenges head-on, and emerged with stories to tell. The charm of naivete becomes less compelling as the allure of wisdom and resilience takes center stage. Experience adds layers to a person's character. It invites conversation, builds empathy, and fosters understanding. This rekindled interest in seasoned partners comes from a realization that relationships enriched with shared experiences offer a more fulfilling and nuanced connection. Furthermore, the allure of personal achievements and a strong sense of self becomes a significant deciding factor in attraction. A person's journey through their successes and failures builds their identity and confidence, traits that are magnetically attractive. Men in their 40s often find themselves valuing traits like independence, ambition, and emotional intelligence. They appreciate partners who know their own worth and can navigate life with purpose. This appreciation stems from the understanding that a fulfilling partnership is built on two strong individuals rather than one dependent on the other for validation. Personal achievements demonstrate resilience and commitment, reflecting a life lived fully. The mature relational dynamics that surface during this phase emphasize mutual respect and admiration, cultivating a profound partnership rooted in authenticity and achievement. In nurturing this appreciation for experience and personal growth, it is essential for individuals to invest in self-discovery and and personal development. Embracing lifelong learning, seeking new adventures, and continually challenging oneself not only enhances individual growth, but also significantly enriches one's value in any relationship. By embodying the principles of self-awareness and achievement, one can attract relationships that mirror these qualities, fostering connections that are rewarding and deeply satisfying. The attraction balance between security and excitement. Attraction is a complicated dance, especially during midlife when many find themselves weighing the comforting arms of security against the exhilarating pull of excitement. This period marks not just a transition in age, but a culmination of experiences that create a unique perspective on relationships. As men navigate this stage, they often grapple with their desires, balancing the urge for stability, whether that be in a career or a love life, against the thrill of the unknown. Security represents a tried-and-true foundation. Perhaps it's a stable job, a solid home, or a long-term partner who offers emotional support and reliability. Excitement, on the other hand, pulses with the energy of spontaneity, adventure, and sometimes a hint of danger. The heart races at the idea of new experiences, a fresh connection, or the allure of rekindling a lost passion. This creates a scale where one often outweighs the other, leading to a tug-of-war within the self. As men reflect on their relationships during this time, it becomes clear that in seeking attraction, they might unconsciously default to one side of the scale. Many tend to favor security as their lives are often filled with responsibilities and the weight of societal expectations. Yet, by leaning solely on security, they might miss the vibrancy that excitement brings. This dynamic interplay is crucial. Too much security can lead to stagnation, while an overindulgence in thrill-seeking can bring chaos. Understanding the tension between these two forces is essential for anyone looking to cultivate a genuine romantic life. It prompts questions about what truly fulfills them, pushing men to confront their fears and desires openly, allowing for growth in ways that might have previously been unimagined. Embracing both security and excitement is not merely a balancing act, but an invitation to develop a rich tapestry of experiences in romance. Men can enhance their relational lives by looking for ways to inject novelty into the familiar. This could mean planning spontaneous weekend getaways with a partner or trying new hobbies together, all while maintaining the foundational elements of trust and support. Effective communication becomes paramount in this journey. Discussing desires openly can foster a deeper understanding between partners, establishing a safe space to navigate the complexities of attraction. Mutual explorations into both familiar comforts and thrilling new frontiers allow couples to grow together, strengthening their bond. Additionally, self-reflection plays a crucial role. Men should assess their own comfort levels with both concepts, how much they prioritize security versus excitement in their lives. Being honest about their preferences can lead to clearer intentions in their attraction efforts. For instance, if someone finds joy in a stable home life but feels a persistent yearning for the thrill of dating or adventure, they might consider seeking partners who also appreciate stability but are open to adventures. Approaching attraction with both mindsets allows the romantic aspect to flourish into something deeper and more fulfilling. Understanding this balance can ultimately lead to a richer, more satisfying romantic narrative, ensuring that both partners feel cherished in their journey together. The danger of becoming too stable and predictable in relationships. Stability in relationships often feels like a sanctuary, providing comfort and reassurance amidst the chaos of the world. However, this very stability can evolve into a stifling routine that undermines the passion that initially brought partners together. When interactions become predictable, excitement can dwindle, leading to feelings of stagnation. The safety of a stable relationship should foster growth and exploration, yet too often it transforms into a repetitive cycle of familiar exchanges. If partners fall into this trap, they risk becoming mere housemates, sharing space rather than deepening their emotional connection. This can breed dissatisfaction, as one or both partners might start to feel unfulfilled and yearn for more excitement, more spontaneity, elements that once made their love vibrant. The key challenge lies in balancing this stability with dynamic experiences that keep the spark alive while nurturing a sense of security. Keeping the flames of desire alive in a committed relationship requires intentional effort and creativity. Partners can introduce small surprises into their daily lives, such as unexpected dates, spontaneous adventures, or even little gestures that break the mold of their usual routines. Trying new activities together not only fosters a sense of camaraderie, but also reinvigorates the relationship. Communication is essential. Sharing dreams, fears, and desires paves the way for a deeper understanding and intimacy, keeping the bond strong while exploring new dimensions of each other's personalities. Couples might also find it helpful to establish regular date nights or weekend getaways dedicated solely to reconnecting and enjoying each other's company without distractions. By integrating both stability and spontaneity, partners can create a dynamic environment that encourages growth, fortifying their emotional connection while nurturing a sense of adventure. A practical tip is to schedule time for surprises. Whether it's cooking a new dish at home together or planning a day trip to a nearby town, both partners can actively partake in shaping an enriched shared experience. Case study: why some men in their 40s feel invisible in their marriages. Many men in their 40s report feelings of invisibility in their marriages, a phenomenon that echoes through countless conversations and confessions in quiet moments. They describe a sense of being sidelined, almost as if they have become mere shadows in the lives of their partners. For some, the spark once ignited in their relationships has dimmed, leaving them grappling with feelings of neglect. This experience often stems from a variety of interwoven factors. Long-term routines, career pressures, and parenting responsibilities can overshadow intimacy, creating a disconnect. Over time, these men may feel their opinions, needs, and desires are overlooked, leading to a downward spiral of self-worth and attractiveness. To reclaim their presence and intimacy, these men can begin by initiating open, honest conversations with their partners. Expressing vulnerabilities invites intimacy, as it creates a foundation for deeper connection. Engaging in shared activities can reignite the passion, whether that's exploring new hobbies together or simply taking time aside to reconnect through meaningful dialogue. Practicing self-care is equally vital. Investing in personal interests and physical health not only boosts confidence, but also enriches the relationship. Moreover, seeking professional help, such as couples counseling, can provide tools and strategies to revive the emotional aspects that have faded over time. Each journey toward visibility and connection is unique, yet the core principles remain universal. Embracing change, prioritizing communication, and fostering emotional awareness are key to breaking free from the cycle of invisibility. Simple adjustments can initiate profound shifts, creating opportunities for rekindling desire and reinforcing bonds that may have weakened. Recognizing one's worth and ability to grow within the relationship is an empowering step that can lead to transformation. Chapter 6. Attraction in your 60s, the legacy of how you lived your life. Why confidence, purpose, and wisdom become irresistible. Self-assuredness and a sense of purpose can dramatically enhance a person's attractiveness, especially in their 60s. This phase of life often marks a time when individuals have a clearer understanding of themselves and what they want. Confidence stems from years of experience and personal growth, allowing many to navigate the world with ease. People in this age group often exude a calm and steady energy that others find magnetic. They no longer feel the need to conform to societal expectations and are comfortable in their own skin, which is inherently appealing. This newfound self-assurance is complemented by a sense of purpose, whether it comes from pursuing passions, nurturing relationships, or giving back to the community. When a person is driven by a clear goal, it creates an inner light that draws others in, igniting curiosity and admiration. Wisdom, a precious byproduct of life experiences, allows for deeper, more connected relationships. Individuals in their 60s have usually faced various challenges and triumphs, equipping them with insights and empathy that enrich their interactions. Wisdom empowers them to communicate more genuinely and listen actively, fostering a profound sense of understanding. This depth of character cultivates trust and intimacy, allowing people to connect on levels that surface attraction cannot achieve. Such relationships are often characterized by nurturing support and mutual growth, drawing partners who seek meaningful connections rather than fleeting encounters. When wisdom blends with emotional intelligence, it creates a bond that feels safe and enriching, making it difficult to resist the allure of such profound companionship. Understanding the appeal of confidence, purpose, and wisdom can also be an empowering environment for personal development. Fostering these qualities is not reserved for those over 60. Anyone at any age can cultivate a self-assured mindset, seek out purpose in their daily lives, and gain wisdom through experiences. Engaging with diverse groups, reflecting on personal experiences, and opening oneself to continuous learning are vital steps to embodying these traits. Striving for personal growth can lead to a more attractive presence that captivates others, creating connections that go beyond physical attraction. The paradox of masculinity. Men who stay active and adventurous remain attractive. Continuing to engage in adventurous pursuits can significantly maintain a man's desirability into old age. Many might assume that age brings a decline in attractiveness, especially for men, whose allure is often linked to youthfulness and physical vigor. However, the truth is more nuanced. Men who choose to participate in activities such as hiking, cycling, or learning new skills not only enhance their physical fitness, but also nurture a vital spirit and a zest for life. This enthusiasm can make them remarkably appealing. When a man embraces adventure and remains physically active, he projects confidence, vitality, and a willingness to embrace life's challenges. Such qualities are often regarded as attractive, transcending age barriers and redefining societal expectations of masculinity. These adventurous pursuits help to challenge the traditional stereotypes associated with aging masculinity, which often portray older men as sedentary and disengaged. In contrast, those who actively pursue interests that excite and invigorate them can shift perceptions about what it means to be a man as they age. Health, activity, and enthusiasm become pillars of this new narrative, encouraging others to view older men not just as wise and experienced, but as vibrant individuals who continue to contribute to the world around them. The image of a rugged older man scaling a mountain or trying out a new sport creates powerful visual reminders that age should not limit one's capacity for adventure. Instead of fading into the background, they embody an active lifestyle, fostering a sense of allure that captivates and inspires. Moreover, engaging in these activities offers a great opportunity for personal growth, often leading to increased social connections and emotional fulfillment. The friendships developed through shared adventurous experiences become a source of strength and support, further enhancing a man's desirability. Beyond personal relationships, men who are active and adventurous often embody traits such as resilience and curiosity, characteristics that are universally attractive. Staying physically and mentally engaged in life not only improves personal well-being, but reflects an enduring allure to those around them. An effective approach for any man looking to maintain his attractiveness as he ages is to continually seek new experiences and embrace the adventures that life offers. The difference between a fulfilled man and a forgotten man. Diving into the emotional and social consequences of living a fulfilling life versus a complacent, predictable one reveals stark contrasts. A fulfilled man embodies a sense of purpose and drive. He is often seen as magnetic. This energy draws people in, facilitating deeper connections and more meaningful relationships. On the contrary, a forgotten man lives within the narrow confines of predictability and complacency. His life may follow a routine devoid of passion, leading to isolation and a lack of recognition from others. He becomes a shadow, blending into the background of life, leaving little impact on those around him. The emotional consequences of this existence are manifold. Feelings of dissatisfaction, loneliness, and a creeping regret can dominate his inner world, while the fulfilled man basks in the joy of achievement and connection, feeling alive and present in every moment. Exploring how fulfillment can redefine attractiveness and relationships later in life is a crucial aspect of this discussion. As men age, the societal standards of physical attractiveness may shift, but the allure of a fulfilled man stems from more than mere appearance. Confidence, wisdom, and the richness of lived experiences create an undeniable charm. This inner fulfillment resonates, attracting partners who seek someone with depth and substance. In contrast, the forgotten man, caught in the rut of familiarity, often struggles to attract lasting relationships. His lack of engagement with the world can lead to diminished self-esteem, resulting in an aura of desperation that is unappealing. Partners are naturally drawn to the fulfilled man's enthusiastic approach to life. They see someone who thrives on challenges, adapts, and grows, anticipating a future filled with adventures and shared aspirations. The path toward fulfillment is not an exclusive journey. Anyone can transform their life by embracing change, taking risks, and pursuing passions that resonate. A helpful tip for those seeking this transformative journey is to start small by reflecting on personal interests and values. Engage in activities that ignite your spirit, whether it be painting, hiking, or learning a new skill. Over time, this pursuit of genuine fulfillment will undoubtedly radiate outward, improving both emotional well-being and interpersonal connections. Case study: why some men in their 60s start dating again with newfound success. Many men in their 60s have found themselves at a crossroads in life, often propelled into a new chapter filled with unexpected possibilities. Their stories reveal a tapestry of transformation and renewed belief in love. Take, for instance, David, a retired engineer who, after a painful divorce, discovered the joys of painting. His newfound passion not only rejuvenated his spirit, but also introduced him to a vibrant community of artists, including several women who were captivated by his creativity. David's charm blossomed as he learned to express himself more freely, leading him to embark on a series of enriching dates that highlighted his newly discovered zest for life. Similarly, there's James, who at 65 returned to college to complete his degree. Immersed in intellectual stimulation, he met Laura in a philosophy class. Their conversations deepened their connection, and James learned that kindness mixed with curiosity drew people toward him in ways he never anticipated. These stories illustrate that it's never too late to reinvent oneself, and that emotional growth can ignite new romantic pursuits. The success stories of these men are not simply about external factors, but highlight significant shifts in mindset. What sets David and James apart is their approach to dating, which has evolved from seeking validation to embracing authenticity. They have learned that dating in their 60s is not about the fear of rejection, but rather an opportunity to connect on a deeper level. They engage with potential partners with the understanding that they bring valuable life experiences to the table. This newfound confidence stemmed from self-acceptance and the realization that vulnerability can be a strength rather than a weakness. They cherish the unpredictability of relationships, approaching them as journeys of exploration rather than a means to an end. Their stories serve as motivation for others to understand that success in dating is often a reflection of internal growth and a willingness to embrace change, affirming that age can indeed be an advantage rather than a barrier. For anyone looking to navigate the dating world, particularly in later years, consider the value of self-exploration. Engaging in hobbies, pursuing education, or simply trying new experiences can create opportunities not just for personal growth, but also for meeting others. The key to attracting partners lies in an authentic presentation of oneself. Confidence, curiosity, and kindness resonate deeply with potential partners, inviting genuine connections that can grow. Emphasizing your unique qualities and experiences can turn dating from a daunting task into an exciting adventure. Remember, the journey of finding love is not solely about the outcome. It's about the richness of experiences and the connections made along the way. Chapter 7. Detaching from the nice guy identity. How to stop defining yourself by external validation. Shaping your identity based on external validation often leads to a fragile sense of self. Each compliment, approval, or achievement feels like a high, while disapproval or rejection can create a deep sense of inadequacy. To move away from this dependency, it is crucial to embrace self-acceptance. Self-acceptance is the heartfelt acknowledgement of who you are, flaws and all. This means recognizing your strengths and weaknesses without needing others to affirm your worth. By valuing what you bring into the world rather than seeking validation from it, you begin to create a more authentic identity. When you root your sense of self in your beliefs and values rather than metrics like popularity or success, you foster a stronger, more resilient version of you. Additionally, understanding that everyone's path is unique can liberate you from unhealthy comparisons that can muddy your self-image. Rather than measuring your worth against others, celebrate your individuality and the aspects that make you you. This shift opens the door to genuine self-love. Introspection forms the foundation for nurturing a robust internal sense of self-worth. Take time to understand what you truly value, the passions that ignite your spirit, and the dreams that resonate with your innermost self. Journaling can be a profound tool in this introspective journey. Write about your experiences, emotions, and thoughts without censorship. Reflect on moments when you felt proud of yourself, not for the applause of others, but due to a personal achievement or the courage to overcome a challenge. Such reflections clarify your worth and promote healthier self-esteem that is less reliant on outside opinions. Engaging in mindfulness practices can also deepen this connection. Learning to sit with your thoughts and feelings without judgment encourages self-compassion. When you become aware of your internal dialogue, you can better challenge negative narratives that stem from seeking validation. Instead of allowing those negative thoughts to dominate, practice reframing them. For instance, if you catch yourself thinking, "I'll never be as successful as he is," shift that to, "I am on my unique journey, and I celebrate my progress." This kind of mental shift fosters resilience and fortifies your self-image against the inevitable external fluctuations. As you develop this deeper understanding of yourself, regularly check in with your emotional state. Ask yourself how your actions and choices align with your core values rather than how they might be perceived by others. Embrace the full spectrum of your humanity, acknowledging your emotions, whether positive or negative. The challenges you face are part of a larger narrative that defines your journey. Keep on remembering that validation from others is fleeting. It is your opinion of yourself that will be the most enduring. Practice statements of self-affirmation daily to reinforce this internal validation. Instead of waiting for external applause, give yourself a pat on the back for small victories. Celebrate the unique person you are by embracing authenticity over approval. By building this internal infrastructure of self-worth, you create a stable foundation that external circumstances cannot shake. Understanding the nice guy fear of rejection and failure. Fear is a powerful driver in the psychology of the nice guy. This fear, which often stems from a deep-seated need for approval and acceptance, shapes their behaviors and thought patterns profoundly. Nice guys tend to believe that by being overly accommodating, they will garner the love and validation they crave. However, this mindset often leads to a stunted personal growth, as it discourages them from asserting their true selves. The nice guy mentality is characterized by a significant detachment from authentic emotions, as their focus is predominantly on pleasing others at the expense of their own desires. This strategy is often rooted in the fear of rejection. The idea of being turned away or unvalued is daunting, leading them to suppress their own needs and preferences. As they navigate relationships, they risk becoming mere shadows, adapting to the expectations and desires of those around them while losing sight of their uniqueness. The connection between fear and missed opportunities in relationships is particularly striking. Nice guys frequently find themselves in scenarios where they hold back from expressing their intentions, whether due to anxiety about being rejected or the belief that honesty might lead to conflict. This leads to scenarios where genuine connections become unattainable. For instance, they may shy away from admitting their feelings, thinking that veiling their true emotions will maintain harmony. However, this often results in missed chances for deeper connections, as partners may feel disengaged or confused about their intentions. The irony lies in the fact that the very strategy designed to protect them from emotional pain often reinforces their isolation. This refusal to risk vulnerability can lead to a cycle of disappointment, where the nice guy remains locked in a state of unfulfilled desires, further entrenching their fears. To break this cycle, it is essential to confront the fears head-on. Embracing vulnerability can appear daunting, yet it is a critical step towards forming authentic relationships. A practical tip for those grappling with these fears is to start small. Practice sharing thoughts and feelings with trusted friends or family members. This gradual exposure can help build confidence and cultivate a sense of self-worth that is not contingent on approval from others. By prioritizing honesty and authenticity, nice guys can begin to dismantle the barriers that fear has erected, opening themselves to more fulfilling and meaningful connections. The mindset shift: being liked isn't as important as being respected. Many people find themselves entangled in the web of seeking approval, often equating their self-worth with how much others like them. This desire for approval can lead to behavior that compromises integrity and self-respect. Yet, a critical shift occurs when individuals prioritize self-respect and integrity over the pursuit of being liked. When someone chooses to stand firm in their values, they find a deeper sense of fulfillment that external validation cannot provide. It's essential to recognize that while being liked may create a fleeting sense of happiness, it is the respect we earn from others that builds lasting relationships and strengthens our character. Cultivating self-respect shapes how we navigate our interactions, encouraging authenticity and honesty in our dealings with others. The moment we realize that our value is not contingent upon public opinion marks a profound turning point in personal development. The understanding that genuine respect fosters deeper connections cannot be overstated. Respect goes beyond mere approval. It creates a foundation for trust and loyalty. When people respect us, they see us for who we truly are, and they are more likely to engage with us on a meaningful level. This genuine connection does not rely on superficial traits that often define popularity. Instead, it speaks to our ability to communicate openly, maintain integrity, and demonstrate kindness even in challenging situations. While popularity may come and go, respect has the power to endure, paving the way for powerful relationships built on shared values and mutual appreciation. Striving for respect may involve taking difficult stands and occasionally facing disapproval, but the long-term benefits far outweigh the fleeting benefits of being liked. Transforming our mindset to focus on respect rather than approval opens the door to a more authentic way of living. Engage with those around you through honesty and transparency, and let your values guide your decisions. By prioritizing respect, you not only elevate your standing in the eyes of others, but you also nurture a self-image that is robust and resilient. Consider reflecting on situations where you prioritized being liked over being respected. Use this insight to fuel your personal growth, allowing it to guide you toward interactions that enrich your life. As you shift the focus from seeking approval to earning respect, you will inevitably create a more fulfilling life. Practical exercise: the self-respect audit. Identifying areas where you betray yourself. This guided exercise is designed to help individuals uncover behaviors that chip away at their self-respect. It is often alarming to realize how frequently we compromise our own values and dignity in various situations, sometimes without even recognizing it. Begin by reflecting on your daily interactions, decisions, and even your inner dialogues. Ask yourself questions like, when was a time I didn't speak up for myself? What habits or patterns do I indulge in that make me feel less than my best? How often do I go against my own beliefs to please others? Record these instances without judgment, simply acknowledging them as stepping stones toward greater self-awareness. Exploring emotional triggers and the contexts in which you feel compelled to betray your self-respect helps in pinpointing the underlying issues. This exercise aims not only to identify negative patterns, but also to empower you to reclaim your self-worth. To facilitate this self-discovery, worksheets and reflection prompts act as practical tools for conducting a personal inventory. Consider creating columns for different areas of your life, such as relationships, work, and self-care. For each area, write down experiences where you felt your self-respect was compromised. Following this, write down the emotions attached to those experiences and any fears or motivations that led to those actions. This amount of introspection can unveil surprising insights, revealing how deeply ingrained beliefs and societal expectations influence your choices. The act of putting pen to paper enhances clarity, providing a tangible record that you can revisit in the future. Use the reflections to identify patterns you are willing to change or confront, and set attainable goals based on that discovery. Perhaps it is learning to say no, asking for help, or prioritizing self-care practices that assert your worth. By engaging in the self-respect audit, you create an opportunity for transformation in your life. Keep the findings from this exercise in a visible place as a daily reminder of your commitment to honoring yourself. The goal isn't merely to identify where you fall short, but to understand the routes you take towards reclaiming your self-respect. Splitting habits from value-driven actions is crucial in altering your course moving forward. The next time you find yourself wavering in your behavior, reflect on your self-audit and let it inspire decisions that align with your true self. Empowered self-respect begins with awareness and can lead to the profound realization that your choices shape your identity. As you nurture self-respect, you invite a fuller, richer experience of life that aligns with your authentic self. Chapter 8. Learning to Say No, the Power of Boundaries. Why people-pleasing is a self-esteem killer. Pleasing others at the expense of oneself is a trap many fall into, and this behavior can quietly erode self-worth and personal identity. When you spend your days seeking approval or validation from others, you may inadvertently sacrifice your own needs, desires, and opinions. Whether it's agreeing to plans you dislike, altering your personality to fit in, or avoiding conflict at all costs, the constant compulsion to keep others happy often leads to internal turmoil. Over time, each concession to others chips away at your sense of self. You may find that what once defined your identity, your passions, beliefs, and interests, becomes overshadowed by your desire to be liked. As you lose touch with who you are to maintain harmony, feelings of emptiness or anxiety may replace your once vibrant self-confidence. It's as if you are playing a role in someone else's drama, while your true self goes unacknowledged, leading to a cycle of diminished self-esteem. The psychological implications of this chronic self-neglect are profound. Living in a way that prioritizes others' needs can lead to burnout and resentment, which further deteriorates your mental health. Without healthy boundaries, you may find yourself constantly on edge, feeling taken for granted or undervalued. The boundaryless existence not only affects your mental well-being, but can also strain your relationships. It's essential to cultivate awareness of your own limitations and recognize that saying no can be just as important as saying yes. Establishing boundaries is not an act of selfishness. It's a vital step towards self-care. When you begin to honor your own needs and desires, you pave the way to a healthier self-image and can engage with others from a place of authenticity. This fosters deeper, more meaningful connections with the people in your life, as they will appreciate you for who you truly are, rather than an image you have crafted to please them. Focusing on self-compassion is key in breaking the cycle of people-pleasing. Start small by taking the time to reflect on what you truly value and what brings you joy. Practice articulating your needs, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. Each time you honor your own feelings and establish personal boundaries, you reinforce your self-worth. Remember, it's perfectly acceptable to prioritize your happiness and well-being. By nurturing your authentic self, you not only uplift your own spirit, but also allow others to engage with the real you, an empowering shift that can profoundly impact all areas of your life. The low-level disrespect we tolerate daily, identifying micro-boundary violations. Small, seemingly insignificant actions accumulate over time, creating a heavy weight that individuals carry unknowingly. These consist of micro-boundary violations, where people's personal space, opinions, or feelings are overlooked or dismissed. When someone interrupts you during a conversation or brushes off your opinion with a casual dismissiveness, it may feel minor in isolation, but each act contributes to an erosion of self-respect and confidence. The cumulative effect of these daily encounters can lead to a pervasive sense of unease, frustration, and even burnout. We often tolerate these little incongruities, dismissing them as harmless gestures, but their hidden costs can manifest as anxiety, resentment, or a lingering sense of being undervalued. Every time we allow a micro-boundary violation to occur without acknowledgement, we send a message that our boundaries are negotiable or even non-existent. This pattern can create an environment where individuals feel they must constantly defend their space, leading them to disengage or withdraw from social interactions altogether. The effects are not limited to one's mental health. There are implications for our relationships and overall well-being, as this low-level disrespect fosters misunderstanding and conflict. Recognizing the impact of these violations is the first step toward understanding their far-reaching consequences. Becoming aware of the various forms subtle disrespect takes is crucial in regaining one's sense of agency. This requires a conscious effort to identify behaviors that might be trivialized or overlooked. For instance, think about how often you adapt your body language to accommodate others or silence your opinions for the sake of harmony. By acknowledging these moments, you can create a list of non-negotiable boundaries that align with your values and preferences, allowing you to articulate your needs more clearly. Acknowledge your feelings if someone makes a comment that feels belittling. This is not a reflection of your worth, but rather a signal that your boundaries have been crossed. Taking proactive measures involves both self-advocacy and the ability to communicate assertively. When you find yourself in situations where your boundaries are violated, practice asserting your needs calmly and clearly. Phrases like "I prefer to discuss this when I feel more comfortable" or "I appreciate your input, but I see things differently" can establish a firm but respectful tone. Engaging in dialogues about respect fosters healthier dynamics in personal and professional settings. Remember, reclaiming your space is not only about setting boundaries. It's about confidently expressing your right to those boundaries while being open to discussions that foster mutual respect. To further enhance your ability to recognize these subtle forms of disrespect, keep a journal to document your daily interactions. Reflecting on these moments will sharpen your awareness and empower you to stand up for yourself more effectively. By cultivating this self-awareness, you create a strong foundation for healthier interactions that contribute positively to your overall well-being. How to say no without guilt, reframing boundaries as a necessity, not selfishness. Learning to assert your boundaries is an essential skill that can significantly improve your emotional well-being and relationships. It begins with understanding that saying no is not an act of selfishness, but a necessary step in maintaining your own mental health. When you refuse to take on obligations that do not serve you, you create space not only for your personal growth, but also for healthier interactions with others. One effective strategy for asserting your boundaries is to practice clear communication. Instead of wavering or feeling guilty, use simple phrases like, "I cannot do that right now," or "I need to prioritize my time differently." These assertive statements come from a place of self-respect, allowing you to convey your limits without second-guessing your choices. It's not about shutting people out. It's about knowing your limits and sticking to them with confidence. Understanding that boundaries are essential for healthy relationships contributes to a stronger sense of self-respect. When you communicate your needs and limits, you foster an atmosphere of mutual respect, encouraging others to do the same. Healthy relationships thrive on understanding and acceptance, where each person's boundaries are honored. By setting and expressing your boundaries, you teach others how to treat you, creating a foundation built on trust and respect. This nurtures your self-esteem and lays the groundwork for deeper connections. Recognizing that everyone has their own limits prevents feelings of resentment and promotes a culture of openness. When you see boundaries as a form of self-care rather than a sign of selfishness, you deepen your appreciation for yourself and those around you. One practical tip is to practice saying no in smaller, low-stakes situations to build your confidence. For example, if a colleague asks you to take on an extra project, practice saying no without feeling guilty. Over time, this small act can empower you to voice your needs more boldly in larger scenarios. Remember, you are entitled to prioritize your own needs just as anyone else is. Adopting this mindset allows you to enjoy more authentic relationships while taking care of your own well-being first. Practical exercise, the boundary audit. Identifying where you're sacrificing your self-worth for approval. Understanding where we compromise our boundaries often starts with a deep dive into our relationships and daily interactions. The boundary audit is a reflective exercise designed to help you pinpoint relationships that may be chipping away at your self-worth. Begin by identifying the key people and situations in your life that cause you to feel uneasy, anxious, or diminished. Jot down instances when you said yes but wanted to say no, times when you felt obliged to meet others' expectations at the cost of your own well-being. As you reflect, pay attention to the specific feelings associated with these situations. Do you sense frustration, resentment, or even guilt? These emotions can be red flags, signaling that your boundaries are being compromised, often in pursuit of approval or acceptance from others. As you compile your notes, take a step back and assess which relationships consistently bring you these negative feelings and how often you find yourself sacrificing your own needs for someone else's validation. Creating and implementing healthy boundaries is essential for maintaining your self-worth and emotional health. Once you've identified the areas where you're sacrificing for approval, the next step is to set clear boundaries that protect your well-being. Start by communicating your needs openly to those involved. This might mean telling a friend that you can no longer take on their emotional burden or letting a colleague know that you're unable to work overtime regularly. Use I statements to express your feelings clearly and assertively without placing blame, such as "I feel overwhelmed when I am expected to handle last-minute tasks." You may also want to establish specific limits regarding your time and energy, like setting aside personal time that is non-negotiable. It's crucial to remember that you have the right to prioritize your well-being instead of constantly seeking approval from those around you. As you begin this journey of asserting your boundaries, practice is key. Start small with less emotionally charged situations to build your confidence. For instance, if social gatherings drain you, learn to excuse yourself graciously without the need for overly detailed explanations. Consistency is essential. Each time you uphold a boundary, you reinforce your self-worth and make it easier to do so in more challenging situations. Reach out to supportive friends or groups who understand your need for boundaries, as they can provide encouragement, helping you stay true to your newfound limits. A practical tip is to keep a boundary journal. Document your experiences as you navigate these changes, noting successes and challenges alike. This reflection not only helps you track progress, but also reaffirms your commitment to valuing yourself and your boundaries. Chapter 9. Empathy versus Sympathy. Understanding the difference. Why nice guys confuse empathy with emotional caretaking. Understanding the nuances of emotional interaction is crucial for healthy relationships. Empathy is the ability to recognize and comprehend another person's feelings, to put ourselves in their shoes without necessarily altering our own emotional state. It allows us to connect on a human level, offering validation and support where needed. On the other hand, emotional caretaking often manifests as an excessive focus on another person's emotional needs at the expense of our own. This behavior can involve continual self-sacrifice, neglecting one's own feelings, and an underlying belief that our worth is tied to how much we can give to others. While both empathy and caretaking come from a place of care, they differ fundamentally in their impact on individual well-being and relational dynamics. The confusion between these two concepts can lead to unhealthy relational patterns, where one person becomes the emotional caretaker, frequently prioritizing someone else's needs over their own. This dynamic can foster dependency in the other person, leading them to rely on the caretaker for emotional support, while the caretaker may start feeling unseen and unappreciated. Over time, this can result in emotional burnout, resentment, and a sense of being trapped in an unbalanced relationship. Caretakers might feel justified, thinking they are being empathetic, yet they often overlook the importance of self-care, contributing to their eventual emotional exhaustion. It's essential to recognize the differences between genuinely understanding someone's feelings and sacrificing personal needs to maintain a connection. Realistically, both partners in a relationship deserve attention and empathy. Instead of veering into caretaking, it's beneficial to nurture healthy boundaries that honor both partners' emotional needs. Recognizing the line between empathy and emotional caretaking allows individuals to support their loved ones while simultaneously maintaining their own emotional health. A useful tip for achieving this balance is to practice self-awareness. By regularly checking in with your own feelings and needs, you can ensure that you are being empathetic without entangling yourself in caretaking behaviors. This not only elevates your relationships but also fosters mutual respect and understanding, paving the way for deeper emotional connections. How healthy empathy builds respect while oversympathy makes you a pushover. Healthy empathy plays a crucial role in creating and sustaining respect in relationships. When we practice healthy empathy, we attune ourselves to the emotions of others while maintaining an awareness of our own feelings and boundaries. This balance fosters genuine connections and promotes reciprocity. In relationships where empathy is mutually shared, individuals feel valued and understood, enhancing trust and cooperation. When one person can empathize while still holding on to their own identity, it enriches the relationship and builds a solid foundation for respect. This way, both parties can openly communicate their needs and feelings, creating an atmosphere of connection that doesn't drain or overwhelm anyone involved. However, the line between empathy and oversympathy can be dangerously thin. Over-identifying with others' emotions can lead to a situation where one loses touch with their own needs, becoming a pushover in the process. This excessive sympathy can cause individuals to prioritize the emotions of others at the expense of their own well-being. When you consistently put others first, it may lead to feelings of resentment and burnout, straying from the healthy give and take that fosters mutual respect. Oversympathy can blur the lines of individuality, making it hard to assert boundaries. It is essential to recognize when empathy becomes too consuming, shifting the focus from supportive connection to emotional overwhelm, which ultimately diminishes respect. Building a practice of healthy empathy involves not just listening and understanding, but also recognizing when to hold one's ground. One practical tip is to check in with yourself regularly throughout interactions. Ask questions like, "How do I feel in this moment?" Or "Am I losing sight of my needs in this dialogue?" This self-awareness can help you navigate the delicate balance between empathy and sympathy, ensuring that you remain a supportive presence without losing your own identity or becoming overly burdened by the emotions of others. Recognizing when kindness becomes self-sacrifice. Acts of kindness often stem from a place of generosity and empathy, but it's crucial to recognize when these acts begin to undermine one's self-esteem or personal worth. Sometimes, individuals find themselves giving so much of themselves that they end up feeling depleted or unappreciated. This shift can be subtle, often masked by the initial excitement of helping others and the positive reinforcement received from their actions. Over time, the constant need to please or help can lead to a pattern where personal needs are permanently sidelined. One may feel pride in extending endless kindness, yet deep down, there can be an underlying resentment. The fear of appearing selfish might prevent someone from acknowledging when their actions are detracting from their happiness and self-respect. This is where the line blurs between genuine kindness and detrimental self-sacrifice, resulting in a harmful cycle that ultimately hinders emotional well-being. Assessing motivations behind our acts of kindness is essential for maintaining personal integrity. It's often beneficial to pause and reflect on what drives the desire to help others. Is it to foster genuine connections, or is it to gain approval or validate one's self-worth? By exploring these motivations, individuals can ensure that their kindness comes from a place of strength rather than insecurity. It's important to ask oneself whether they are capable of extending kindness without the expectation of reciprocation or acknowledgement. This self-reflection acts as a guiding compass, helping to distinguish between altruistic behavior and that which is rooted in fear or obligation. Keeping a clear boundary allows one to engage in meaningful acts of kindness that enhance relationships while simultaneously honoring their own emotional needs and boundaries. Building awareness around these dynamics can empower individuals to strike a healthier balance between caring for others and nurturing oneself. Recognizing the signs of self-neglect when offering help is crucial. For instance, if you find yourself constantly saying yes to others' requests while neglecting your own time and energy, it may be time to reassess your commitments. A practical tip is to practice mindfulness. Take a moment to analyze how an act of kindness impacts your emotional state. If it feels draining rather than uplifting, it might warrant a second look. Establishing this mental check-in will not only aid in maintaining personal integrity, but can also transform the experience of kindness into one that is rewarding and sustainable. Real-life example: how high-value men balance empathy and strength. Across various walks of life, countless high-value men have emerged as exemplars of how empathy and strength can coexist harmoniously. Consider the story of Sam, a successful entrepreneur juggling a rapidly expanding business while being a devoted father and partner. He commands respect in the boardroom with his assertive decision-making, but also flourishes as a nurturing figure at home. This duality was not always easy for him. Sam learned that listening to his team's concerns, understanding their motivations, and showing genuine care for their well-being fostered an environment that ignited creativity and commitment. By attending to both the demands of leadership and the human aspect of collaboration, he created a culture where people felt valued. His ability to meld strength with compassion ultimately yielded exceptional results, translating into high employee retention and fierce loyalty. Sam's success illustrates that high-value men are not merely assertive. They are also profoundly attuned to the emotional currents surrounding them. Strategies employed by high-value men like Sam involve a multidimensional approach to relationships, both personal and professional. These men often prioritize clear communication as a foundation for assertiveness, articulating their needs and desires without dismissing those of others. They approach conversations with emotional intelligence, carefully navigating the intricacies of human relationships. High-value men understand that showing vulnerability can foster respect. They are not afraid to admit when they do not have all the answers. This openness leads to genuine connections, as it cultivates trust and a shared understanding. Moreover, they engage in active listening, which allows them to connect deeply with others while reinforcing their own position. Balancing empathy with strength does not require them to relinquish authority. Instead, they wield it with grace, earning admiration through their thoughtful actions rather than their mere titles. For anyone looking to embody these qualities, a practical tip to embrace is the practice of mindfulness in interactions. Momentarily stepping back from intense emotions allows for clearer thinking and fosters a deeper connection with others. Whether in a business meeting or a personal relationship, taking a moment to breathe and consider the feelings at play enables more thoughtful responses. This approach not only enhances personal connections, but also cultivates a reputation for being a leader who values both strength and empathy. By nurturing this balance, you can enhance your charisma and create lasting relationships grounded in mutual respect. Chapter 10. Developing an Edge. What actually makes a man attractive? The three magnetic traits women respond to. Confidence, authenticity, and ambition are not just traits. They are magnetic forces that attract women on a deeper level. Confidence, the first of these traits, is about believing in oneself and projecting that belief in social situations. When a man carries himself with confidence, he signals that he is comfortable in his own skin, which naturally draws people towards him. Women are often subconsciously attracted to this energy as it suggests stability and a sense of direction in life. Authenticity goes hand in hand with confidence. Being genuine means expressing your true self without pretense or masks. When a man is authentic, it fosters trust and openness, allowing for a deeper connection to form. Women are incredibly perceptive, and they can sense inauthenticity quickly. Showing vulnerability and sharing personal stories makes a man relatable and endearing, which amplifies his attractiveness. The warmth that comes from authenticity creates a safe space where women feel valued and understood. Ambition adds another layer to this powerful trifecta. It signals not just a desire for success, but a passion for life itself. An ambitious man has goals and dreams, and he works toward them with determination. This trait is attractive because it reflects a proactive approach to life. It suggests that the man isn't waiting for opportunities to fall into his lap, but actively seeks them out. Women often admire men who have a clear vision for their future, as it implies motivation, drive, and resilience, all qualities that can make for a strong, potentially lasting partnership. Infusing these characteristics into daily interactions can significantly enhance one's attractiveness. The essential step is to cultivate confidence through practice. Start by stepping out of your comfort zone, whether that means engaging in conversations with strangers or taking on leadership roles. Such experiences build self-assurance and promote authenticity. Pay attention to body language. Maintaining eye contact and adopting an open posture can enhance the confident vibe you convey. Authenticity requires continuous self-reflection. Be honest about your thoughts and feelings, and don't shy away from vulnerability. Sharing personal anecdotes or expressing genuine emotions in conversations can create connections that feel fulfilling. Rather than performing a role, aim to engage with others based on who you genuinely are. This authenticity will resonate with women, drawing them closer rather than pushing them away. To incorporate ambition into interactions, share your goals and passions in a positive light. Discuss projects you are working on or personal achievements, but ensure it's a conversation, not a competition. Listening actively and showing interest in a woman's ambitions can foster a two-way street of support and inspiration. It's about creating a shared space where both people can thrive. When these magnetic traits come together consistently in your interactions, the allure becomes undeniable. Strive for sincerity and purpose, and allow these qualities, confidence, authenticity, and ambition, to shine through naturally. Why humor, unpredictability, and decisiveness create instant attraction. Humor, unpredictability, and decisiveness are powerful traits that contribute significantly to a charismatic persona. When someone possesses these qualities, they naturally draw attention and foster desire in others. Humor acts as a universal language that breaks down barriers. A well-timed joke or a witty remark can quickly lighten the mood and establish a connection. It creates a sense of comfort and playfulness, whereby others feel at ease and open to interaction. Unpredictability adds an element of excitement to social interactions. When a person surprises others with unexpected twists, they create intrigue and keep people guessing. This element of surprise piques curiosity and boosts attraction, as individuals often find themselves drawn to those who keep them on their toes. Decisiveness, on the other hand, exudes confidence. When someone is clear in their choices and actions, it conveys a sense of strength and reliability. This combination of humor, unpredictability, and decisiveness not only captivates attention, but also makes individuals more appealing on a deeper emotional level. Together, they can create a magnetic aura that inspires desire and admiration. Cultivating humor can begin with embracing your natural sense of playfulness. Share personal anecdotes or past experiences that reveal your funny side, as authenticity is key in this process. Engage in lighthearted banter with friends or family, which will help you become more comfortable with humor in social situations. Watch stand-up comedians or improv shows to learn different styles of humor and observe how they engage with their audience. To tap into unpredictability, introduce spontaneity into your life. This can be as simple as trying new hobbies, changing your routine, or taking a different route to work. When you become more adaptable and open to change, you will naturally exude an air of unpredictability. Additionally, practice making decisions quickly. This doesn't mean rushing into choices, but rather trusting your instincts and valuing your off-the-cuff thoughts. By blending humor with unpredictability and decisive actions, you remain authentic while enhancing your appeal in social settings. Your true self will shine through, making you more approachable and attractive. As an enhancement to your journey, think about how you present humor and unpredictability in daily interactions. Whether it's through playful teasing among friends or spontaneous plans, find ways to showcase these traits while remaining true to who you are. Practice humor in low-stakes environments before moving to more significant social settings. This will help build your confidence and enhance your natural charisma. Remember, attracting others is often about authenticity. The more genuine your humor and surprises are, the more you will connect with those around you. How to become more attractive without changing who you are. Attraction is often misunderstood, with many believing that it requires putting on a mask or adopting a persona that feels foreign. However, true attraction stems from a deep-rooted embrace of one's authentic self. When individuals show up as they are, flaws, quirks, and all, they become magnetic in a way that a facade cannot replicate. This authenticity resonates with others because it reflects a comfort in one's own skin. It signals confidence, and confidence is attractive. When you present the real you, it invites others to do the same, creating an environment of genuine connection and interest. So instead of striving to fit a mold, take pride in your individuality. The richness of your unique characteristics, your interests, your stories, your experiences, are what set you apart and make you appealing to others. In the journey of self-improvement, the emphasis should be on growth that aligns with who you truly are. Begin by identifying the strengths that already exist within you. What do you love about yourself? What are your passions? Understanding these core aspects can guide your development in ways that enhance your allure without forcing you into someone else's definition of attractiveness. For instance, if you are naturally curious, cultivate that trait by learning new skills or exploring new ideas. Engage in hobbies that excite you and share your discoveries enthusiastically. This not only adds depth to your personality, but also ignites conversations that others find fascinating. Additionally, small changes such as enhancing your body language, like maintaining eye contact and smiling genuinely, can significantly boost your attractiveness. These subtle shifts highlight your confidence and engagement with others, reinforcing the message that you are comfortable being you. Another powerful strategy is to focus on self-care as a form of self-respect. This doesn't mean conforming to societal beauty standards, but rather taking care of your own body and mind as an expression of love for the person you are. Cultivate habits that nourish not just your appearance but your inner well-being as well, such as regular exercise, healthy eating, and mindfulness practices. When you prioritize your health and happiness, it reflects outwardly. A well-cared-for person radiates vitality and energy, attracting people naturally. Remember, the most compelling aspect of attractiveness lies in the alignment of your external presence with your internal self. Embrace your unique attributes, invest in your well-being, and the attractiveness that results will be effortlessly genuine. Practical exercise, the social experiment, observing real-life attraction dynamics. Engaging in a practical observational exercise allows you to delve deeper into the nuances of attraction behaviors in social settings. Begin by placing yourself in various environments, such as a coffee shop, a park, or a social gathering, where interactions unfold naturally. Pay close attention to the subtle cues that individuals display. Notice body language, how people position themselves, their gestures, and their eye contact. A simple lean towards someone during a conversation can reveal interest, while crossed arms may indicate defensiveness or disconnection. Observe how conversations flow. Do they tilt toward humor and playfulness, or are they more serious? The dynamics shift based on the level of attraction between individuals. Over time, these minute observations will build your awareness of the underlying currents of desire and social connection. To enrich your understanding of attraction, reflect on your personal experiences in similar settings. Recall moments when you felt an undeniable spark with someone or noticed someone's attention on you. What feelings surfaced during those encounters? Delve into how you expressed your own attraction or how you responded to another's advances. Was there hesitation or confidence in your approach? By examining these past interactions, you can gather invaluable insights and patterns that may influence your future behavior. Consider how different contexts amplified or diminished your feelings of attraction. Allow these reflections to guide you, making you more attuned to the subtleties of your interactions and the emotional landscape of those around you. Sharing thoughts about your observations and experiences can enhance your understanding. Discuss insights with friends or observe others' interpretations of attraction dynamics. Conversations can unlock new perspectives and deepen your grasp of these behaviors. As you navigate future social encounters, practice applying your heightened awareness of nonverbal cues and interpersonal rhythms. The next time you're in a social setting, experiment with small changes, like offering genuine compliments or maintaining open body language. Each experience will add to your knowledge, helping you become more skilled in the dance of attraction. Chapter 11. From Nice to Respected. How to be a good man without being weak. The balance between kindness and strength. Kindness and strength are often viewed as opposing forces, but they coexist in a dance that is essential for genuine leadership and connection. Strength is not solely about physical power or dominance. It encompasses resilience, the ability to remain calm under pressure, and the capacity to protect and uplift others. Kindness, on the other hand, does not imply weakness. It takes remarkable courage and inner strength to show compassion, empathy, and vulnerability. In many ways, true strength is best expressed through acts of kindness. When a person embodies both qualities, they create an inviting magnetic energy that draws others in, fostering an environment where trust and growth can flourish. Understanding that kindness enriches strength can facilitate a deeper connection with oneself and others, allowing individuals to navigate life's challenges while uplifting those around them. High-value men understand the power of balancing kindness with strength. They know when to be firm and assertive, yet they are equally capable of extending a listening ear or a helping hand. This balance sets them apart, as they attract others not just through their accomplishments but through their character. By modeling resilience alongside compassion, they inspire those around them to strive for the same equilibrium. Readers can emulate this balance by practicing self-reflection and developing emotional intelligence. It involves recognizing one's own strengths and weaknesses and approaching interactions with a mindset of openness and respect. Taking small steps, like offering support to a friend in need or standing up for oneself and others in challenging situations, demonstrates that strength and kindness do not undermine each other. Rather, they complement one another, leading to a richer, more fulfilling life. Seeking opportunities to blend kindness with strength can have powerful implications. A simple act of kindness can serve as a reminder of one's strength, while showing strength can create a safe space for kindness to flourish. Embrace this duality in everyday interactions. When faced with a conflict, try to respond with understanding rather than aggression. Likewise, when supporting someone, don't shy away from being assertive about your perspective. Balancing these traits not only creates personal growth, but also nurtures connections that are both meaningful and enduring. Why integrity and self-respect are more attractive than people-pleasing. Integrity acts like a magnet in relationships. It is a quality that stands the test of time, shimmering brighter than the superficial niceness often mistaken for true warmth. When someone is genuinely honest and holds themselves accountable, others feel a profound sense of safety and trust. It is this authenticity that fosters deep connections, while those who engage in people-pleasing may only find temporary acceptance. Acting solely to gain approval can create a facade that becomes exhausting to maintain, and eventually, people sense the hollowness behind such charm. True attraction lies in the strength of character, where integrity draws others in, creating a magnetic field of admiration and respect. In this sense, being genuine and principled doesn't just charm the eyes, it captivates the heart. To cultivate a rich sense of self-respect intertwined with integrity is to lay the very foundation of your identity. Each time you choose authenticity over the urge to conform or impress, you build a stronger sense of who you are. It requires courage to stand firm in your beliefs and values, especially in a world that often pressures individuals to shapeshift into what others demand. Self-respect necessitates an inner dialogue that acknowledges your worth without depending on external validation. When you respect yourself, you empower others around you to do the same. People are naturally drawn to those with self-awareness, and that emanates an aura of confidence that surpasses mere pleasantries. This self-acceptance not only attracts positive relationships, but also cultivates a fulfilling personal life that remains unwavering amid challenges, showing that integrity and self-respect are indeed the cornerstones of lasting attraction. Building integrity and self-respect isn't merely a pursuit, it's a journey towards becoming your best self. Engage in practices that reinforce your values, reflect on experiences that align with your principles, and prioritize honesty in interactions. Surround yourself with individuals who respect and uplift you, allowing their energy to reinforce your sense of worth. This not only enhances your relationships, but also fortifies your resolve against the subtler temptations of people-pleasing. Over time, your commitment to integrity will not just change how you view yourself, but it will transform how others perceive you, drawing them in with its undeniable allure. The difference between giving and overgiving. Giving can be a profound expression of love and kindness, a way to forge connections and spread positivity. When we give, whether it's our time, resources, or attention, we create ripples of goodwill that can uplift others and ourselves. However, there is a fine line between healthy giving and the more detrimental act of overgiving. Overgiving often stems from a desire to be liked or to validate our own self-worth through the approval of others. This can lead to feelings of resentment and exhaustion. In attempting to please everyone around us, we may neglect our own needs, setting the stage for burnout and emotional distress. The joy of giving can quickly fade when it becomes a means of self-sacrifice, where the boundaries of what is acceptable blur and we lose sight of our own wants and needs. To cultivate a balanced approach to giving, it's essential to respect personal boundaries, both our own and those of others. Understanding that giving should be a choice fueled by joy, rather than obligation, allows us to uplift others without diminishing ourselves. When we recognize our worth, we can offer support and kindness without the fear of depletion. This healthier approach involves checking in with our emotions and needs, making sure we're not compromising our well-being for the sake of others. Setting limits on how much time and resources we give can help maintain our vitality, while still constructing authentic connections with those around us. By valuing our self-worth, we enhance our capacity to give from a place of abundance, rather than scarcity. Remember that self-care is not selfish. It is a necessary component of being able to give effectively. Taking time for oneself allows one to recharge and come back to the world as a more effective giver. Engaging in self-reflection can help us discern when we are giving out of genuine desire versus guilt or fear. This awareness is a powerful tool that fosters healthier relationships and personal happiness. Prioritizing our own emotional landscape enables us to contribute meaningfully and sustainably to others, creating a cycle of positive energy that benefits everyone involved. How to show you care without being taken for granted. Genuine care is about more than simply expressing affection. It's about fostering an environment where respect and appreciation can flourish. One practical way to show you care is through intentional acts of kindness that go beyond the ordinary. When you take the time to remember small details, like someone's favorite coffee or a special date, it signals that you're invested in that person's life. However, while these gestures are important, it is crucial to avoid creating a dynamic where giving leads to taking for granted. Providing support doesn't mean being overly accommodating or neglecting your own needs. Strike a balance by ensuring that your kindness is both sincere and self-respecting. By doing this, you encourage others to appreciate your care rather than expect it as their due. Maintaining boundaries while showing affection can sometimes feel challenging, especially when emotions are involved. However, clear boundaries are essential for healthy relationships. You can express your support by being available and open without compromising your own needs. For instance, offering to help a friend during a tough time can be a powerful display of care, but it is equally important to communicate your own limitations. If you feel overwhelmed, it's okay to say, "I can be there for you, but I also need to take care of my own commitments." This approach fosters mutual respect. Encouraging others to respect your boundaries reinforces the idea that caring for yourself is equally important to caring for others. Attraction and desire are often rooted in how we are treated as individuals. When we show care thoughtfully, without losing our own identities in the process, we make ourselves more attractive. This balance leads to relationships where both parties feel valued and respected. A practical tip for maintaining this balance is to regularly check in with yourself. Ask how your actions align with your values and whether you feel appreciated in return. It could be as simple as pausing to assess whether you might be giving too much. By fostering open communication about both your support and your boundaries, you pave the way for a relationship that thrives on mutual appreciation rather than complacency. Chapter 12. Cultivating the right kind of confidence. Why confidence isn't about arrogance, it's about trusting yourself. Confidence often gets confused with arrogance, but the two are fundamentally different. Confidence comes from a deep-rooted sense of self-trust and self-acceptance. It's about knowing your strengths and limitations without feeling the need to prove anything to anyone. An arrogant person may project superiority, but this often masks insecurity. True confidence allows you to be comfortable in your own skin, accepting who you are without comparing yourself to others. This self-acceptance breeds a quiet assurance that doesn't require external validation. When you trust yourself, you can navigate challenges with resilience and optimism, opening doors to genuine connections with those around you. Vulnerability plays a critical role in building this genuine confidence. It might seem counterintuitive to consider openness as a strength, but embracing vulnerability empowers you to connect deeply with others. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you reveal the authentic parts of who you are, the struggles, the fears, the dreams. This authenticity fosters trust. When others see your genuine self, they are more likely to reciprocate. Sharing your vulnerabilities doesn't diminish your confidence. Rather, it enhances it by demonstrating an understanding of your humanity. You acknowledge that everyone faces challenges and imperfections, and that shared experience creates stronger bonds. The courage to be vulnerable showcases your confidence in navigating the complexities of life without armor. Building true confidence is an ongoing process that requires patience and practice. One practical tip is to engage in daily self-reflection. Set aside time to ask yourself what you are proud of and what you can improve. Celebrate your small victories and acknowledge your failures as learning opportunities. This habit reinforces your self-trust and acceptance, gradually transforming how you view yourself. Over time, you will find that trusting yourself and being vulnerable opens up a world of possibilities, not just for your personal growth, but also in your relationships with others. Embrace the journey and let confidence bloom from within. The mindset shift. You don't earn attraction, you embody it. The idea that attraction must be earned often leads to a misguided pursuit of validation and approval. Many men operate under the belief that they need to check off certain boxes, whether that's achieving professional success, developing physical prowess, or mastering a specific social skill. This mindset creates an unnecessary pressure that ultimately detracts from the natural essence of attraction. Instead of viewing attraction as a reward for accomplishments, it is crucial to embrace the concept that attractiveness is inherent, rooted in self-acceptance and confidence. Shifting this paradigm means recognizing that attraction is not a currency to acquire, but rather a state of being that exists within each individual, waiting to be expressed. This understanding invites men to explore their own self-image more deeply. Cultivating a self-image that embodies attractiveness requires an internal transformation where one sees themselves as worthy of admiration and connection. This means engaging in self-reflection and confronting limiting beliefs that suggest otherwise. The journey toward embodying attractiveness involves appreciating one's unique qualities, flaws and all, rather than striving for an often unrealistic standard. It's about learning to love oneself fully, which naturally radiates a magnetic energy that draws others in. When you embody the qualities of confidence, authenticity, and openness, you create an aura that attracts rather than pleads for attention. It is in this confident self-awareness that real attraction is born, effortlessly drawing people toward you. The importance of boundaries, self-respect, and assertiveness. Boundaries are essential in maintaining our sense of self-respect and in fostering assertiveness, both of which are critical for building healthy relationships. They serve as markers that outline what we find acceptable and unacceptable in our interactions with others. Without clear boundaries, we often find ourselves in situations where our values are compromised, leading to feelings of resentment and confusion. A lack of boundaries can create an environment where our needs are overlooked, making it difficult to navigate social dynamics or personal connections. Boundaries are not just about protecting ourselves, but also about respecting others' personal space and needs. When we embrace our boundaries, we communicate our worth and signal to others that our feelings and needs deserve consideration. This two-way respect lays the groundwork for more fulfilling and honest relationships, allowing us to form connections based on mutual understanding and appreciation. Practicing assertiveness plays a vital role in establishing and respecting our personal boundaries. It empowers us to communicate our needs clearly and confidently, enabling us to stand firm in our values and preferences in any given situation. Assertiveness is not about aggression or forcing our viewpoints on others. Instead, it's about expressing ourselves in a way that is both honest and respectful. When we become skilled at assertive communication, we reduce the chances of being taken for granted or manipulated, while also recognizing the right of others to advocate for themselves. By practicing assertiveness, we reinforce our boundaries and invite others to respect them. Techniques such as using I statements help clarify our feelings and intentions without placing blame or creating defensiveness in conversations. This approach encourages open dialogue and allows us to express ourselves freely, preventing misunderstandings and fostering deeper connections. One practical way to begin establishing your own boundaries is to take a moment of reflection. Start by identifying areas in your life where you feel overwhelmed, disrespected, or taken for granted. Once you've pinpointed these aspects, communicate your boundaries clearly and consistently. Remember that it's a process, and it might feel uncomfortable at first, but with practice, it becomes easier. Appreciate the small wins as you advocate for yourself, as these incremental changes can significantly impact your self-respect and the quality of your relationships. Always keep in mind that setting boundaries is a sign of strength, not weakness. It signifies a commitment to honoring not only yourself, but also the people in your life. Practical exercise, the boldness challenge, learning to ask for what you want. Engaging in a boldness challenge can be transformative, especially when it comes to expressing your desires and asserting your needs. To embark on this journey, start by noticing the situations in daily life where you hold back from asking for what you truly want. This might be as simple as requesting a different coffee order or voicing your opinion in a group discussion. The essence of boldness lies not in grand gestures, but in the small, consistent acts of speaking up for yourself. Approach these interactions with an open mindset. Realize that the act of asking can help you build confidence and clarity regarding your desires, paving the way for deeper connections and personal growth. Remember that your feelings and needs are valid, and every time you assert them, you grow a little bolder. This process is about practice and patience, so give yourself grace in the learning curve. To effectively rehearse bold interactions in low-stakes environments, create opportunities that feel manageable yet challenging. Start with casual conversations where you can express your preferences. For example, at a restaurant, ask the waiter for a slight alteration in your meal instead of settling for the standard. In social situations, initiate discussions that invite you to share your thoughts openly. If someone asks for opinions, take a moment to voice yours without self-doubt. Being direct about your desires is a muscle that requires regular exercise. The more you do it, the stronger it becomes. Practicing in comfortable environments allows you to experiment with different styles of communication. Some might be lighthearted, while others can be straightforward and serious. Over time, you will notice a shift in your willingness to assert what you want in various settings. A practical tip to incorporate boldness into daily life is to set a boldness goal each week. This could involve a small, achievable ask, like requesting a larger size at a clothing store or suggesting a movie to friends. Write the goal down and reflect on your feelings before and after each encounter. Documenting your experiences allows you to track growth and understand the impact of those seemingly minor moments. Remember, each time you take a step toward being bolder, you're not just advocating for yourself, but also encouraging others to do the same. Boldness can create a ripple effect, inspiring those around you to become more assertive and confident in expressing their desires. Chapter 13. The Final Shift, Owning Your Power and Living with No Regrets. Why the biggest regret of nice guys is not speaking up. Many nice guys experience a profound regret for not voicing their true thoughts and feelings. This regret stems from a deep-seated belief that their worth lies in their ability to please others. They often suppress their emotions, fearing that expressing their genuine selves might lead to rejection or conflict. Instead of being open about their desires and boundaries, they hold back, hoping that their kindness will eventually be recognized and rewarded. This silence can create a festering sense of resentment and confusion, both within themselves and in their relationships. As time passes, these unspoken feelings can lead to an overwhelming sense of isolation, where the nice guy feels trapped in a facade that no longer aligns with his true identity. The gap between who they are and who they portray becomes a source of deep pain, leaving them to grapple with the realization that their silence was a disservice to their own well-being. Understanding the consequences of living for others sheds light on the liberating power of authenticity. When nice guys prioritize others' feelings over their own, they often find themselves in a cycle of inauthenticity. This can lead to stress, anxiety, and ultimately hinder genuine connections. People are naturally drawn to honesty and vulnerability. When one can shed the need for approval and speak their truth, it paves the way for deeper and more meaningful relationships. Authenticity empowers individuals, allowing them not only to attract compatible partners, but also to foster healthier friendships and professional relationships. The freedom that comes with embracing one's true self is a catalyst for personal growth and fulfillment. When someone dares to speak up, they often uncover strengths they didn't know existed and open themselves to experiences where they can truly flourish. A practical way to start speaking up is to incorporate small changes into daily interactions. Begin by sharing simple opinions or preferences in conversations, whether it's on a restaurant choice or an upcoming plan. Gradually, this can build confidence and create a habit of expressing oneself. Journaling thoughts can also be a useful tool to clarify feelings and prepare for future conversations that require honesty. Over time, these small steps can help transform regret into empowerment, as each instance of speaking up reinforces the importance of authenticity in every aspect of life. How to transform your mindset from seeking approval to living authentically. The journey from seeking approval to embracing authenticity is a transformative experience that reshapes our identity and interactions. Individuals often find themselves caught in a cycle of approval seeking, driven by the desire for acceptance and validation from others. This mindset can stem from childhood experiences, societal expectations, or the overwhelming influence of social media. A pivotal shift occurs when one realizes that real fulfillment comes from within, not from external affirmations. Understanding that each person has unique traits and perspectives encourages a deeper connection with oneself. It fosters the courage to express thoughts and feelings honestly, even when those expressions might contradict popular opinion or momentary desires for acceptance. Embracing vulnerability becomes essential. It's a powerful catalyst for change. Vulnerability invites authenticity into our lives, allowing us to acknowledge our true selves without the heavy burden of needing to please everyone around us. The impact of authenticity on relationships and self-perception is profound and far-reaching. Living authentically fosters deeper connections with others because it invites mutual honesty and respect. When we present ourselves without pretense, we attract people who appreciate us for who we are, leading to more meaningful relationships. Conversely, relationships built on approval-seeking often remain superficial and lack emotional depth. As we embrace our true selves, we begin to recognize and appreciate others' authenticity too, creating a supportive environment where people feel safe to be open and vulnerable. Self-perception also dramatically shifts as confidence grows. Those who learn to live authentically often experience a boost in self-esteem, as they are no longer reliant on external validation. Instead, they find contentment in self-acceptance and a clearer understanding of their desires and values. This transition allows individuals to approach life with a new sense of freedom, revealing the beauty of living unapologetically. Ultimately, the most effective way to begin this transformative journey is to practice self-compassion. Start by acknowledging your feelings of self-doubt and recognizing the patterns of approval-seeking behavior. Journaling can be a powerful tool in unpacking these feelings, helping to clarify your thoughts and emotions. Engage in activities that provide genuine joy and fulfillment, and gradually introduce more of these into your life. By shifting your focus from what others think to what genuinely resonates with you, you carve out a space for authenticity and self-expression. Remember, the goal is not perfection, but progress. Each step taken toward embracing your authentic self helps create a richer, more fulfilling life. The Nice Guy Detox Plan: Reprogramming Yourself for Self-Respect and Attraction. The Nice Guy Detox Plan introduces a much-needed structure aimed at helping individuals break free from ingrained nice guy tendencies. Many find themselves consistently putting others' needs before their own, believing that this will earn them love and validation. However, this approach often leads to frustration and resentment. The first step in this detox process is to recognize and accept these patterns. Acknowledge how the desire to please others can overshadow your own self-respect. Self-respect is not just about feeling worthy. It involves setting boundaries, acknowledging your desires, and prioritizing your well-being. The journey begins with self-awareness and reflection, helping to identify these tendencies and the fears that often underlie them. It is essential to challenge the belief that selflessness will lead to love. True connection thrives on mutual respect and authenticity, marking the first beacon that guides you toward healthier relational dynamics. The second section of the plan provides step-by-step guidance designed to cultivate a renewed sense of attraction and authenticity in relationships. This requires a shift in mindset and behavior. Instead of seeking validation through people-pleasing, you'll learn to embrace confidence rooted in self-acceptance. Begin by setting small, actionable goals that help you practice assertiveness, whether it's voicing your opinions in social situations or saying no when you need to. Engaging in activities that genuinely interest you can highlight your authenticity, drawing others to you in a more organic way. Additionally, healthy relationships involve open communication, so practicing vulnerability becomes crucial. Share your thoughts and feelings honestly, which fosters deeper connections while also reminding you of your own worth. Remember that attraction is not merely about pleasing others. It's about cultivating an inner glow that radiates self-love and respect. Create opportunities for self-discovery during this journey, as understanding your own desires and boundaries will only serve to enhance your relationships moving forward. Establishing these new habits takes time and patience, but the transformation will gradually reflect not only in your interactions with others, but in how you perceive yourself. Consider regularly reflecting on your progress. Journaling can be an effective tool in this journey by allowing you to document your thoughts, feelings, and experiences as you detox from nice guy tendencies. Each entry can serve as a reminder of your commitment to self-respect, while also providing clarity on your evolving sense of attraction and authenticity. Keep in mind that the path to embrace self-respect and project attraction requires practice and intention, but by making small, daily changes in your mindset and actions, you will not only detox from old patterns, but also create fertile ground for lasting, meaningful connections. Final challenge: start living for yourself and attraction will follow. Prioritizing your own desires and needs is not just a personal goal. It's a transformative process that reshapes your identity and the dynamics of your relationships. Each time you choose to put your own well-being first, you send a powerful message to yourself and others about your worth. This shift often requires a deep introspection, a questioning of societal norms, and a willingness to be unapologetically yourself. Embracing this journey may involve setting boundaries, saying no when it's right, and allowing yourself the space to breathe and explore what truly makes you happy. When you invite self-importance into your life, you create a magnetic energy that draws others toward you. It's a paradox. When you stop seeking validation and start seeking your own fulfillment, the allure you project becomes irresistible. The idea of self-prioritization may sound daunting, but consider how it can forge authentic connections with others. When you cultivate a sense of self-worth and chase after your true desires, you lead by example, showcasing that self-love is not selfish, but a prerequisite for healthy relationships. Genuine attraction blossoms from this authenticity. When you are aligned with your true self, others are naturally drawn to that confidence and clarity. It inspires them to reflect upon their own desires and perhaps take similar leaps towards self-fulfillment. Rather than chasing after attention, shift your focus inward, and you may be surprised to find that deeper, more meaningful connections arise effortlessly. Such relationships are built on mutual respect, where both parties appreciate each other's autonomy, fostering a space conducive to growth and intimacy. To actively pursue this transformation, start by identifying small ways to prioritize yourself daily. Whether that's indulging in a hobby you love, taking a moment for mindfulness, or simply expressing your needs openly, each step helps lay the foundation for a fulfilling life. As you integrate this practice into your routine, notice how it shifts your interactions with others. You might find that those who treasure your company will appreciate you more for being authentic, creating a powerful cycle of attraction rooted in genuine desire and mutual respect. Make the commitment to prioritize yourself, and soon, the right people will gravitate toward the solar energy of your self-assurance. Conclusion: how to stop chasing and start attracting. The paradox of attraction. The less you seek approval, the more naturally you draw people in. The intricate dance of attraction often reveals a puzzling dynamic. The more one seeks validation from others, the more elusive it becomes. This relationship between self-sufficiency and attraction is rooted in the psychology of human interactions. When individuals project a sense of independence, they exude confidence and security, qualities that inherently draw others closer. Neediness, on the other hand, can create a repelling force. People are instinctively wary of those who appear overly reliant on their approval, as this can signal insecurity and an imbalance in power dynamics. A self-sufficient person is seen as stable, engaging others from a place of strength rather than desperation. This balance shifts the interaction. Instead of a one-sided endeavor to please, there emerges a mutual exchange that feels natural and effortless. As you become less focused on the approval of others, your authentic self shines through, making you all the more appealing. This is not just a matter of perception, but a fundamental aspect of human psychology. Desirability often stems from the appearance of choice, where others perceive someone as having options, making their interest feel more special. Transitioning from a mindset of seeking approval to one centered on self-fulfillment can be transformative. When individuals prioritize their interests, passions, and personal growth, they naturally radiate a unique energy. This shift away from external validation allows for a more genuine and magnetic presence. As you become engrossed in your own pursuits, whether that's honing a skill, nurturing friendships, or engaging in creative ventures, you cultivate a rich inner life. This vibrancy can be incredibly attractive to others, as it signals a person who is not only content in themselves, but also likely to contribute positively to relationships. It's in this space of self-fulfillment that individuals find themselves naturally attracting like-minded people who value authenticity and substance, rather than superficial connections. As you invest time in your own happiness and interests, it opens the door for others to engage with you on a more meaningful level. Embracing this journey not only enhances your attractiveness, but also enriches your experience of relationships. Realizing the power of self-sufficiency and focusing on personal growth can be a game changer in how you connect with others. To harness this, start by identifying your passions and devoting more time to activities that fulfill you. Embrace the idea that your happiness is anchored in your own efforts and interests. This shift will gradually transform your interactions, making them more authentic and intriguingly more attractive. The Nice Guy Transformation Timeline: What to expect when you break free. Breaking free from the nice guy trap is a journey filled with a series of transformative experiences. Initially, you may feel a sense of confusion as you start questioning the beliefs and patterns that have governed your actions. This phase can be uncomfortable yet liberating, as you begin to recognize that your previous attempts to gain approval through people-pleasing may not be the path to true fulfillment. As you move forward, you'll experience moments of clarity where your true desires and needs come into focus, often leading to a surge of newfound energy and motivation. Embracing authenticity can reflect in various areas of life: how you communicate, the boundaries you set, and how you engage in relationships. Over time, you might find that people respond differently to you, often in more positive and engaging ways, as your confidence and self-assuredness radiate from within. This timeline may also bring about discomfort, as certain emotions you've stifled may resurface, demanding attention. Navigating these feelings is crucial. Instead of pushing them away, you'll find strength in acknowledging them as part of your evolution. Patience and persistence are essential throughout this transformative journey. Real change takes time, and it is important to recognize that setbacks might occur. There may be days when old habits resurface, tempting you to revert to familiar behaviors. This is entirely normal and part of the process. Acknowledging that self-improvement is not a linear path helps set realistic expectations. Celebrate the small victories. Each step you take towards self-confidence adds to your authentic self. Surrounding yourself with supportive individuals who encourage your growth can bolster your resilience during times of doubt. Dive deep into nurturing your inner voice, practice self-compassion, and be aware that your willingness to embrace this transformation is a significant accomplishment in itself. Ask yourself what it means to be truly authentic in your relationships and interactions. Redefine your understanding of masculinity in the context of empathy, respect, and genuine connection. At the core of this journey lies the empowerment that comes from breaking free from societal expectations. Remember to embrace the uncomfortable moments as catalysts for growth. Challenges are often opportunities in disguise. As you cultivate self-awareness, reflect on your desires, fears, and values. Integrating this understanding into your daily life not only fosters deeper relationships, but also enhances your overall sense of well-being. A practical tip to keep in mind is to journal your progress and breakthroughs regularly. Write down desires you wish to pursue, barriers you encounter, and the feelings that arise during this transformative process. This practice not only helps in tracking growth, but allows for introspection that can significantly aid in navigating the complexities of attraction, masculinity, and the psychology of desire. A final word: why it's never too late to change your story. Change is an ever-present possibility, waiting at the edge of our comfort zones. No matter how old you are or the experiences that have shaped your path, the power to rewrite your narrative lies within you. Life is not a finite script. It's a dynamic tale influenced by the choices you make, the feelings you nurture, and the dreams you dare to chase. You may believe that your past defines you, weaving a tapestry of fears and regrets, but it is never too late to unravel those threads. Each day offers a new canvas to paint your desires, and every moment is a chance to choose a different route. Remember that many inspiring figures in history achieved greatness later in life, and their stories remind us that persistence can lead to profound transformation. Embrace the idea that evolution is not just for the young or the fortunate. It is for everyone courageous enough to reflect and act. Consider what truly matters to you. What drives your passions, what brings you joy, and what reflects your authentic self. Allow these desires to guide you, leading you to discover parts of yourself that you may have thought were lost or buried. Take small steps toward your goals. Every action counts. Whichever direction you choose, the most important thing is to start. Understand that seeking change is an act of bravery, a conscious choice that can lead you toward a fulfilling life aligned with your true self. Write the next chapter of your story with intention, determination, and hope, and know that you possess the power to create the life you envision. To help cement this shift in perspective, take a moment each day to visualize your desired future. Imagine not just the end result, but the steps it takes to get there. Write it down, affirm it, and immerse yourself in the emotions that arise from pursuing your authentic desires. By taking consistent, mindful actions, you reinforce your ability to change, inviting transformation into your life. Your story is not fixed. It is alive and unfolding. Engage with it actively and remember, your next chapter could be the most remarkable one yet. Look back for a second. Think about every moment you sacrificed your own needs just to be liked. Every time you swallowed your words, avoided conflict, or overextended yourself, hoping that this time, someone would notice. And what did it get you? Now, think about what could happen if you lived differently. If you stopped waiting for permission. If you stopped treating attraction, success, and respect as things you need to earn by playing nice. The paradox of attraction is this: the less you seek approval, the more naturally you draw people in. The more you value yourself, the more others will too. This isn't about becoming someone you're not. It's about reclaiming the parts of you that you've been hiding. Confidence, boldness, self-respect. The things that make people sit up and pay attention. So here's my challenge to you: stop chasing. Start being. Because the moment you stop proving your worth is the moment people start recognizing it. And that's when everything changes.